Oh man, we live, baby. We live. We lit, baby. We lit. Yeah, let's get it. All right. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Talk with the Titans, live from London, UK, all the way to the US of A and worldwide. I'm your host, Kalam, and this is Talk with the Titans. Oh man. So, you know what, family? I know the show is mad provocative right now. What is the topic? It says here, would you sleep with a 9-year-old? No. Mufti talks. So we're gonna have a very insightful. I hope a very insightful conversation topic today, and this topic is kind of crazy because whether we like it or not, like Islam and Muslims, yeah, is literally in the spotlight. Literally in the spotlight. So we can't even hide from it. We can't even shirk away from it. Therefore, we have to talk about it. Okay. So there's loads of questions that's been, rolling around, your prophet married a 9-year-old, or sorry, married a 6-year-old and consummated or had sex, or, whatever the case is, with a 9-year-old girl. Okay. Like, this is the type of topics that's been going on. It's been dropping and so forth. And I know everybody's talking about these things. But me personally, what I'm seeing right now, what I'm seeing right now, is that we have a lot of people that's representing Islam, but they really should not be representing Islam, in my humble opinion. Okay, in my humble opinion, they really shouldn't be representing Islam because they're currently standing in a very inadequate position. Okay. And it's time that certain individuals who are more astute, more knowledgeable, more scholarly should come to the forefront and represent, and not just simply represent, but actually educate other Muslims themselves of how to actually have interfaith dialogues or speak with people of the British public or Western mind frame, to be honest with you. Because to be honest with you, I'm a type of person, yeah, that I always get labeled all different types of names, like Islamophobe, simply because I speak on Islam, and sometimes I criticize all religions and all philosophies and so forth. I even criticize Kemetic philosophy and people who, hold the Kemetic views and so forth. So it's not something that's new. You can find videos on my channels when we going at, America's top scholars, yeah, saying, nah, fam, what you're talking right there is a whole heap of guru. Yeah, I'm just that way inclined. So but today, hopefully, I'm actually going to speak on Islam, and I actually want to do it because I saw a video. Yeah, I actually saw a video which was like, that was nasty. Like, you guys, yeah, I'm sorry to say this, yeah, I'm sorry to say this. I got respect for you guys, but the way you represent your deen, or the way you represent your path or your religion, or whatever you want to call it, your Islam, yeah, it's like, it's horrible. I will be real with you. It's very, very horrible. And it's, don't blame other people who are, labeled as Islamophobe. No, the way that they're going on, and the way they have good reasons to fear your religion. They have very good reasons to fear your religion. And why is that? Because whatever the media is propagating, okay, that's one thing. That might be a propaganda on the media behalf, yeah. But when they are clued up and they ask questions, and your response is a bit shaky, shoddy, and it's a bit worrying, to say the least, it's like, why wouldn't you think people might be a bit like put off by your religion? Okay, like, I really want my Dawah teams here to really be re-educated on questions that an enlightened mind may just ask you guys, okay? Because I see it. You lot got your scripts, okay? You've got your scripts. Trust me, I've read most of your scripts already, yeah? Get them to talk about this. Get them to talk about, creation. Get them to talk about God, and get them to talk about, the book and this and the messenger and the prophet and so forth. And you're going through your script, but in certain individuals, don't fall into don't fall into your script. So you're like, oh gosh, what do I do? They've asked me a question that is a bit tricky. I don't know how to respond. All right, let me try to help you here. Let me actually try to help you, because I saw this today. I did see a couple brothers, or a brother actually, do a response style video to this, but same way, I'm actually going to just talk on it real quickly. So this is the video that I saw today, and I was like, ooh, that was nasty.
One last question. Yeah. Can you tell me how old was Muhammad's wife Aisha when he married her? Right. See, this question, yeah, this.
See, man, ask a very reasonable question, yeah? A very reasonable question. Muhammad's wife Aisha, how old was he when he married her? Like, I want to know. Okay, clearly the guy has foreknowledge of it already, but now this guy who's answering the question is panicking a little bit. Let's just hear the response.
So this question, we know. Sorry, huh? Everyone's talking about this, isn't it? Everybody's talking about this, yeah. First of all, what I'm going to explain to you... No. Let me explain something to you. Because what's happened, yeah? Really and truly, I only like to discuss Islam with people that are genuine about things. Because
you only like to speak to people about Islam that has no knowledge of Islam and don't want to ask you these really pertinent questions. This is somebody who actually has knowledge of Islam and wants to ask a question that's troubling them. And to be honest with you, it will trouble most people in the Western world. Okay, maybe if you're in Africa or Asia or the subcontinents, yeah, that it may not trouble you, but somebody who's coming from a Western mindset, it will trouble them. Like, don't hop and skip around it.
Things about what? No. It's not just a simple question. That's not, with all due respect. Let's be respectful to each other. When you ask someone a question, you can't just give me the answer. Just say yes, just say no, because that doesn't give you understanding. We know this. Let's not be erratic. Let's be. So therefore, no. Hold on. No, listen. That's what I'm saying. But it's not like that though. What you need to understand here. Who? All right. Since you've asked a question here, who gave her away? Her father. Right, her father. So what do you say about the father then? Her father gave away. You find it shocking, yeah? According to what standard? Well, why should I deny it? You asked me, why should I deny it? When my belief... I can't do that to a child. No, it's not. How true in historical context was it?
Okay, so already you can see it, okay? You can already see it's getting a bit messy. Somebody else is now jumping in and so forth, yeah? It's really, really messy, to be honest with you. It's really, really messy. And, like, people have, real legitimate concerns, real legitimate concerns, and they want the answer to it. Okay, I'm not gonna speak on. I'm not gonna, trust me. Yeah, I'm trying right now. I'm in my help mode. I'm helping mode. I'm in helping mode. Okay, so I'm not attacking Islam. I'm not attacking Muslims. Nothing like that. Okay, I actually want people who are peace, Kalam, peace, or yes, my brother, big bro. I actually do want people who are non-Muslims to actually learn about Islam, away from I don't know, how can I say it, the Islamic propagation or the Islamic, sugarcoating and making it sound pretty. And I also want them to learn it away from, the semi-Christian atheist perspective where they're constantly just attacking. I just want to learn from it from a very unbiased point of view. Okay. And I really think that the people who are up front, should actually provide really honest answers, very objective answers, very calm mannered answers, because these are real concerns that the British public and other individuals really do have. And the way that you're reacting to answer these questions, you're already showing me that you're a bit defensive. Like, no, this is too sensitive for my soul. Like, yeah, it is sensitive, but relax yourself, compose yourself, and just answer the question. Okay, so right now I'm just saying, you don't need some re-education. And what I actually would like to offer you guys for this re-education is this. Tomorrow, okay, we actually got Mufti Abu Laif, actually coming down tomorrow to London. Yeah. So Mufti Abu Laif is actually coming down. If you haven't checked out Mufti Abu Laif, I should really show you his YouTube channel. Okay, he's a very, 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 very educated scholar. I'll say scholar. I'm giving him these titles here that he may just reject, but he's a very educated individual. That's been studied over in, I believe, in Medina and so forth. Okay, so this is an individual that I actually learn a lot from. Personally, okay, I actually learn a lot from, and I want you guys here who are interested, who are genuinely interested in Islam, okay, because I think the British public should be genuinely interested in Islam, because it's something that it's a phenomenon that's spreading across the country, and I think you should familiarize yourself with it. But we've got an event going on tomorrow, okay, an event going on tomorrow where you can literally ask any question you want, any question you want. All it is just to be very respectful. Okay, so you can ask a question, just be respectful when you're asking the question. That's all we're asking you, is this. All right. And this basically would be a Q&A where you can ask the British born scholar literally any question you want. Okay, we'll aim to have a laugh together, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed due to the amount of interest in the event. Okay, all I'm saying to you is that you can't really get the purchases in. You can't really book it, but I've got a few extra spaces. Okay, I want to take as many as 10 people down there with me. Okay, 10 people down there with me. It's starting 6 p.m. Okay, it's going to be a quick 1.5 hours to 2 hours. Okay, that's all we're going to have. A very quick event tomorrow. Okay. And I want to invite you guys to come down and sit down with us. Okay. So I definitely want people who are English, okay, who are non-Muslim, okay, to come down. I actually want at least 5 people who are interested, okay, as a concerned member of the public, to come down, ask some real questions of somebody who's well studied in Islam, who gives lectures, you know, who is well equipped to answer any questions that you do have, to come down tomorrow for this. Okay. What I want you guys to do is just simply email me. All my contact details. Yeah. Let me quickly share my screen. Let me share my screen. All right. All my contact details should literally be down here. Let's see. Where are we? So if you want to email me, it's right here, kalam@live.co.uk. Email me. If you want to get in contact with me, and you already got my Facebook information, I think it's right here. Okay. I'm not even accepting no new friends, but if you already have it, just Facebook me. But the best way to get in contact with me is via email. Okay. And those of you guys who actually have my telephone number, please hit me up via, just phone me. Okay. Phone me and we'll get into this. Okay. So that's what I'm asking you guys to do is get in contact with me. We've got 10 spaces, literally 10 spaces left. I want 5 of those spaces here to be filled up here with non-Muslims, okay? Non-Muslims, preferably Christians or atheists to come down, or agnostics to come down and ask questions, like genuine questions, or if you have genuine concerns, to come down and ask those questions to Mufti Abu Laif. Okay, if you've got the same question about, Muhammad, peace be upon his family, marrying a 9-year-old, come down and ask the questions. Okay, come down and ask the question. So that's what I want you guys to do. Again, so just all you got to do is email me. That's all you got to do. All right. And everybody else, if you're Muslim, whatever the case is, get in contact with me as well. And we'll go there together. If you want to meet up, we'll go there and we'll get it in. All right. There is a fee to pay. It's a very minuscule fee. Okay. There is overheads that needs to be catered for. Okay. There's premises, there's cost of traveling, the time, all sorts. So there's going to be a very minuscule fee. Okay, it's not going to be more than your meal that you're paying. If you're going to buy a meal tomorrow, or breakfast tomorrow, or lunch tomorrow, or dinner tomorrow, it's not even going to be more than that. So just come in, message me, email me, phone me, and let's get it in. Okay, so that's my little quick promotion. You know that way there. But yeah, so the conversation was going on here about, marrying a 9-year-old, or marrying a 6-year-old, having sex with a 9-year-old, and so forth. And I was like, that's a bit like the way the brother was very defensive. I've seen a lot of this speaker's corner. It's very like, you lot don't really know how to handle the question. All right. And if I was going to handle that question, I will come off and be like, all right, cool. I feel you. I feel your concerns. Do you know what I'm saying? Is there? Because if somebody came to me and said they wanted to have sex with or marry or have sex with my daughter who is under the age of 10, I would be like, hell no. Hell no. So I feel your concerns. I definitely feel your concerns. So, but let's actually look into the scriptures. Let's look into what it actually says. Let's talk about this. Okay. So far we know that in the Quran doesn't talk about Aisha and the marriage of Aisha and so forth. It's not in there. Okay. So where do you have to go for that? You have to go into the hadiths. Okay. And we got to see that. We got to make sure we distinguish things, because you got the Sunni Muslims and you got the Shia Muslims. This is like the first split in this, kind of like the first split in Islam. So there's 2 different denominations. The Sunni Muslims have, Aisha being 9 years old, whereas the Shia Muslims, unfortunately, they don't even really fall into that bracket. I don't think they fall into that bracket, because the most Shia Muslims don't even accept Aisha being the age of 6 or 9 years old. So this really is something that's targeted towards Sunni Muslims. Okay, it's just targeted towards Sunni Muslims. Shia Muslims don't even have that concern as well, because they don't have the same hadiths. All right, if you look with me. So if I was going to go there, I would actually start off and just be an objective and just letting everybody understand this. Letting everybody understand this, that this whole 9-year-old issue is only in the Sunni hadith literature that I'm familiar with. Okay, I may be wrong, but as far as I know, it's only in the Sunni literature. Okay, but then in the Sunni literature and in the Muslims that belong in the different sects, not every Muslim believes that Muhammad married a 9-year-old. They don't. Not all of them even believe that. Not all of them believe that it's even permissible for you to have sex with a 9-year-old. So you got to understand that it's not all Muslims that have this ideology. It's only a very selected few who are fundamentalists who only go by what the literature says, regardless of anything. If the literature says it, this is what it says. But at the same time, there was still this conversation taking place, okay, amongst what we consider to be the very first generations, the first 3, 4, 5 generations of Muslims had this conversation. They weren't too sure neither. Like some people were saying, yeah, like 9 years old. Some people were saying, maybe later, and so forth and so forth. Like explain to them that there is an, what's the word that you lot call it? An ikhtilaf. There is differences of opinion. There really is differences of opinion. Don't just paint everybody with this same brush, okay? And I know a certain select group or certain group of Muslims push this narrative hard, okay? But unfortunately, the rest of the Muslim world, is now having to answer for this, which they don't even believe in. They themselves don't even believe it. But because you believe it, and because you're the most vocal one out of the whole bunch, everybody's now, having to, justify this. Like, hold on, I don't even believe this. Why do I have to justify it? It's a mad thing. It's an absolute mad thing. But let me quickly go into something, actually, because I was listening to one of the brothers speak today about this topic, and I said, let me actually go and check this, because you lot are saying some very interesting points that in Tirmidhi, it says about Aisha being 9 years old and so forth and so forth, and co and co and co. And I was like, oh, what you did there was kind of nasty. I'm not saying Aisha being 9 years old is nasty. I'm just saying what he said. I was like, oh no, that was kind of, I don't even agree with that, what you said there, because it makes it sound a certain way. But anyways, let me actually jump into this with you guys. Let me jump into this. So this is what I love doing. I always love going into a little bit of scripture. So I've gone into Tirmidhi, okay, and this is the chapter to do with marriages, okay? Chapter to do with marriages, and I kind of went into the this one is to do with the orphans. Earlier on, it goes into virgins and so forth. But this one right here kind of showed the how can I put it, the disagreements or the differences that there are amongst the Muslim community, the very early Muslim community, should I say. There was a lot of differences. So let's quickly just touch on some of those differences. Oopsies. All right. So it says here, this is Tirmidhi, okay? Jamia Tirmidhi, volume 2, and it's roughly 1109. It's not roughly, it is 1109. So if you go there and you've got the books with you, go there and check it out. Otherwise, you can just Google it online and you can find the details. You already know me in it. I always go through literature. If somebody makes a claim, I always go through the literature. Like, hopefully, I'm actually imparting this type of wisdom to you guys. If anytime somebody makes a claim, ask them to back it up. Show me where that is. Show me where that is, Show me in the Quran where it is. Oh, it's not in the Quran? Okay, where else is it? Show me in the Hadiths where it is. Show me in the Surah where it is. Show me in the, the Maghazi where it is. Show me in the histories where it is. Whatever the case is. Just show me where it is so I can see with my two eyes myself. Otherwise, it's what we call hearsay. All right, so here it says here, Abu Hurairah narrated that the Messenger of Allah said, an orphan is to be consulted about herself. Then if she is silent, that is her permission. And if she refuses, that do not authorize it, the marriage. For her, meaning when she attains the age of puberty and refuses it, Hassan. Okay, so this is graded Hassan. This means it's good. So it's just giving you a little quick narration there. So it says there are narrations on this topic from Abu Musa, Ibn Umar, and Aisha. In brackets here. Let me see if does it say Aisha here. Not that I can see. All right. So, anyways, it continues. All right. It says here, Abu Isa said, the hadith of Abu Hurairah is a Hassan hadith. So this hadith up here is Hassan according to Abu Isa. Okay, and it's coming from Abu Hurairah. Now, it follows on to say that the people of knowledge differ over the rules governing about giving the orphan girl in marriage. So right over here, it lets you know clearly that there is ikhtilaf, okay? There is clearly a differences of opinion with the ahlil, the ulama, basically, okay? Basically, amongst the learned studious individuals, the people of knowledge, there is a difference of opinions. Okay. And I know this is the orphan girl right here, but let's just listen to what it says. Let's listen to what it says. So there is a difference of opinion. And this is why I would love to see some of my more scholarly individuals kind of show people that, don't paint Islam with a broad stroke. Like, there is different opinions amongst the scholars, there's different opinions amongst the sects, there's different opinions amongst the denomination. Let people have full knowledge. Don't just give them your one-sided, your myopic view of Islam. No, give them the whole vastness of Islam when you're answering a question, so they can make up their own minds after that. They're fully informed, not just half informed. But anyways, it says here, given the orphan girl in marriage, some of the people of knowledge, okay, held the view that when the orphan girl is given in marriage, the consummation is postponed until she attains the age of responsibility. Okay, so the girl has been given in marriage, but it cannot be consummated until she attains the age of responsibility. Interesting. Interesting. Then, when she attains the age of responsibility, it's up to her to permit the wedding or annul it. That is the saying of some of the tabain. Okay, so this is the individuals who came after the Sahaba. So after the companions of the Prophet, okay, you have the following generation. Okay, so the second generation, so to speak. Okay, they held on to the opinion, according to Abu Isa, that even though you marry off a person or marry off an orphan girl, it doesn't mean that they have sex. It doesn't mean that. It means that you have to wait till she reaches the age where she is a responsible individual. And that's the age that she can have sex. And then once she reaches that age, it's up to her, regardless if she's married legally, whether she wants to annul the marriage or she wants to permit the marriage. Does she want to continue with the marriage, or does she want to cancel it or annul the marriage? Okay, so she makes that decision once she's reached, the reasonable age. Interesting. So that's the view of the tabain. Just put that in your minds for right now. Then it says here, there's a second one now. It says some of them said it is not allowed to give the orphan girl in marriage until she attains the age of responsibility, and she is not allowed a choice about the wedding. Whoa. Okay, so it says some of them said it is not allowed to give the orphan girl in marriage until she attains the age of responsibility. So only until. This one here before saying that some of the taba'in and some of the individuals were saying, no, you can marry her off before she reaches the age of responsibility. But this one is saying, no, only until she reaches the age of responsibility do you or can you marry her off. And then after that, she's not allowed a choice about the wedding. This is the view of Sufyan, Athawri, Ashafi, and others among the people of knowledge. So this is what's been said. So one is saying you can marry her prior, but it's only once she reaches the age of responsibility, whether she can carry on with it or annul it. The next one is saying only when she reaches the age of responsibility can she be married. Interesting. Then it says here, Ahmed and Ishaq said that so this is the third opinion now, that when the orphan girl reaches 9 years of age, wow, here we go with the 9 years of age. It says here that when she reaches the age of 9 years old, she is given in marriage and she approves. Okay, so she's given in marriage at the age of 9, and if she approves it, then the marriage is allowed, and she does not have a choice to permit or to annul it when she reaches puberty. So hold on. So this one here, she could be married off at the age of 9 years old. She could be married off at the age of 9 years old. Okay. And she is given in marriage and she approves. So at the age of 9, she can approve the marriage. Then the marriage is allowed. And she does not have a choice to permit or to annul it when she reaches puberty. So that means that even though a girl is 9 years old, she's married, she can only fully be married, or she can only fully consummate that marriage when she reaches puberty. Interesting. There's three different views being stated here. Muslims, why don't you explain these three different views to our non-Muslims or even to your Muslims da'is? Explain this to them. They argued using the hadith of Aisha that the Prophet, so Ahmed and Ishaq, they argued this point basically, utilizing the hadith of Aisha that the Prophet consummated his marriage with her when she was 9 years of age. Okay. And Aisha has said when a girl reaches 9 years of age, she is a woman. Down here in the footnotes, it says here Aisha had reached puberty at 9 years of age. So, because somewhere in some scripture called by this name, it says that Aisha reached the age of puberty at 9 years old, therefore they're arguing this point. The other twos, i.e., the Tabain and Atari and Ashafi, never argued this point about 9 years old. Seems that there is something curious going on here. She also says here she is judged as having reached womanhood because at that time she has attained the perception and discernment to know what is beneficial or harmful for herself, and Allah Most High knows best. So it seems very interesting here. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So we can see with the third one, it talks about her reaching the age of puberty at 9 years old. Okay, fair enough. And it also says that she reached the age of womanhood at 9 years old because she had the perception and discernment to know what is beneficial or harmful to herself. And Allah knows best. Even this statement here, and Allah knows best, lets me know that you're not fully sure about this statement, but you're saying, oh, if Allah knows best, Allahu alam, I think so. So even they themselves are having a bit of a doubt. Otherwise, you would not be saying Allah knows best. But that's just me just saying this, you know. So it seems to me right here, if I'm really going to be dissecting this, is this. The previous generations never actually stipulated an age. They never stipulated an age. If I'm reading this correctly, okay, you lot can come in and correct me if I'm wrong. They never stipulated an age, it seems like. They never did. Just simply says once you've reached puberty and once you've reached the age of responsibility, that is the age you can, consummate any type of marriage arrangements. But the later ones, the third one, the later one now says, yeah, a girl gets, can reach her age of puberty at 9 years old. Reaches age of puberty at 9 years old? That's a bit strange. Okay. Then it also says, and she reaches the age of discernment at 9 years old. Really? A girl reaches the age of discernment at 9 years old? Even you yourself has to say Allahu Alam on that one because it don't sound right. Personally, I'm just saying it don't sound right. I've never met a 9-year-old, okay, that reached the age of puberty. I've never noticed that before. Personally, I'm just saying off my own back. I've never noticed that before. Some of you guys are going to say, yeah, it's true though. Some girls have reached the age of puberty at 9 years old. No, they might have started menstruating at the age of 9 years old. Okay, someone might have to cut me down and say, but yeah, that's what puberty is. 9 years old is when you menstruate. I always thought is when, you go through your changes, you go through adolescence basically, and you've passed through a certain stage. That's when you've reached the age of puberty. Not that you're just going through puberty. You've reached the age of puberty. You've actually, come to that level in your life. But I could be wrong. I know African traditions. Like, soon as you start menstruating, for example, you go through like a 3-year, period of women being trained what it is to be a woman. You go through coming of an age ceremony. I know that's part of African tradition. You start receiving your fertility beads and all them things there. You dig what I'm saying? You get taught what it is to menstruate. You get taught about your monthly cycles. You learn about it. You know how to harmonize your system, how to clean yourself, and so forth. You can't just simply menstruate and be like, yep, I'm ready to have sex now. Nah, fam, you need to have sexual education before that happens. Well, I know that's part of African tradition. I don't know about Arabian tradition. That's something else. To be honest with you. So I've always had problems. Personally, I've always had problems with that. I always like thinking to myself, what the hell are you not talking about with that? I'm digressing, but I always think that. And I always think to myself, like, okay, So why did this man have all, supposedly had all these wives, but none of them were this young age? Why is this one young? That's curious to me. Hmm. Name me another Sahaba or another companion with a young wife, a wife that's 9 years old. I've always found it strange. Personally, I'm just saying, personally, I've always found it strange. And I've always asked this question to a lot of people in Speaker's Corner. And I think to myself, like, let me never ask this question. It's too sensitive because some people, they get too emotional. What are you trying to say? You're calling my prophet at this? No, fam, I'm just asking a real question. But I realize that people aren't mature enough to answer these questions or ask these questions and answer these questions because they feel away and it's affecting and it's impacting the identity. Like, no, I can't find it. So therefore, my whole religion is a sham. No, man, you need to ask these questions, step out your comfort zone and get it in. So anyways, yeah, I know I'm rambling on for a little bit still. Salute to you guys who are actually in the building. I'm just checking back on you guys right now. Salute to you guys who've actually donated. Salute. Again, if you guys would actually, let me just shout out everybody for real. I've been bad. Okay, so shouts out to my brother over here, Isaac, not Ishmael. He says, yeah, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Yeah, buddy. So yes, shouts out to you and everybody else who is donating. Of course, if you want to donate, you just simply hit the icon there. And somebody asked me before, how comes I couldn't donate more money? You just simply have to slide it up, basically. Slide it up and you can donate as much as you would possibly like. Okay, is that simple? Okay. Someone donate me 100. All right, cool. Check Sailor Media if you have time. I will try. Okay, what's good? So, any of you guys actually have any questions? Any guys got some questions or some comments? And if you guys would like to come in and join me for a little bit, come in and join me, man. We haven't had a live stream for ages. What's happening, Kalam? Keeping exposing the. All right. Yeah. So come and join me if you guys want to. You know what you have to do? All you have to do is simply send me an email to come and join me. Or if I post the link, let's see if I can post the link. I'll do that. I'll try to post the link. This may not work here. Okay. So the link is posted. So if you'd like to come and join me, come and join me. All right. But if you've got any questions, all you have to do is simply tag Titans TV. And I'll try to answer your questions as best to my ability as possible. Also, please hit the like button. Okay. Hit the like button. I'm going to hit the like button myself. Hit the like button and let me know what number of the likes you've hit. So I'm number 69. No homo. So I'm 69 right now. All right. So let me know if you've hit the like button, what number you are, basically. All right. I would like to see who's actually out here supporting the thing. Ah, man. So yeah, hit the like button, baby. Hit the like button. And if you've got any questions, please post up your questions for me. Let me quickly stop sharing and I'm going to actually add the link as well. So if you guys would like to join me, come in real quickly and join me. So again, tomorrow, okay, tomorrow is actually the 15th. I say tomorrow, but it's actually today now, isn't it? It's today. I believe today, the 15th, okay, of this month, 15th of April, we have got Mufti Abu Laif that's coming down all the way from Birmingham, I believe, to give us an awesome presentation, an awesome question and answer session. You know, he does his Monday night with Mufti Abu Laif, okay? But this time he's coming down to London. We're going to be there. We're going to be in the building. We're going to be covering it as well. We're going to be asking some questions. So yeah, let's get it in, baby. Let's get it in. We've also got shouts out to Jonathan Bailey as well for your support and your donations. Love, family. You are showing me a lot of love. I appreciate it. BMW Fitness says he's number 86 in terms of likes. Perfect. Okay, so family, people saying I was 3, I was 54, back in 5. All right, cool. So all I'm going to ask you guys to do, is please, the link is literally down below right now. So if you guys would like to join the panel, okay, come in and join the panel. The link is literally in the description box right now, right at the top. Come and join in. Let me quickly share my screen yet again so you can see. And we can have a brief discussion. So right here, all you have to do is click there and join us with this discussion. Okay, come and join us in. Let's get it. Before I go, now let me see. Just gonna check to see if you guys have emailed me. All right. So, okay, a few guys have emailed me. Let me just quickly drop you guys the link that have actually emailed me. Panel Hangouts, hit me up. Let me just quickly drop you guys the link. Oh man, we've got a SAR in the building.
Imhotep, Saber, Kalam.
Imhotep, Saber, SAR. Was really good, family.
I just was checking it out, watching you do your thing in here. Hold on, let me cut this. I got to add the game on. I'm sorry. I'm watching Toronto get busy, fighting them bullets. But man, I think this has been a topic for Islamicists for a long time, and this brings the realization of what they think about women, the progress of their women, from just learning, from getting the ability to drive in Saudi Arabia this year. So running through things like that are just real tedious for them right now. And then when you read something like this, whether you agree with the notion that, okay, menstrual cycle is here, sex is permissible now, a 9-year-old is an adult, et cetera, it just really makes you deal with the whole culmination of things concerning how the treatment of women over the time and history and life has been dealt with. And they got a lot to ponder. It's just a lot to ponder and a lot to deal with when you come with this situation.
That's real. That's real. Oh man. Whew. Let's see. Anybody else would like to just add their 2 pence? We're in here. Buddha Bing, Lorenzo, Ansir. Let me know.
Yeah, I would say something. Obviously, this is a very touchy subject. Not just for even just talking about it is obviously quite cringy. However, it is a serious issue because there's a lot of pain and suffering going on in the world, and used by huge communities of people that think it's perfectly normal to do so. So it does need to be talked about, and it does need to be, something that should be out in the open. Now, people getting too upset about it and just rejecting the whole thing, it's not going to work because, like Kalam already showed, there's lots of examples of evidence from Islamically condone and support this type of behavior, and there are Muslims that live by those rules, and there are communities and even countries that adhere to those rules. So it's not a small thing, and it's not a light thing. We have to tackle it head on, and we have to be open about it. Me personally, I sometimes tend to offend people, but I guess that's not the right thing to do. Let's stick to the facts of the matter, the reality of the situation, and try and move forward in the sense of the pain and suffering of the children in the world.
Whew. I love it, man. I love it. Everybody's coming in. Let's get it.
Yeah, let me jump in there, Kalam. What I was going to say, clearly it's aberrant. I think even Muslims accept that it's unacceptable. What I would be interested to find out is, did the Prophet have any other people underage, i.e. He had some slaves that I'm aware of. Were any of them of that age?
Nope.
If not,
the only individual that seems to be on the age that is hinted to actually have sexual relations with is Aisha. Okay, that's the only one.
Right. So there must be a purpose. There must be a purpose behind it, because everybody else was. I mean, I think Khadija was older than him, and everybody else was of a certain age. Only that one, Aisha. So there must be a purpose, and I'd like to delve into that and try and figure out what that purpose could be.
So, according to the mythos, or according to the story itself, this individual, this person, Aisha, she wasn't like any of the other wives. She never offered herself to the Prophet or anything like that. The Prophet actually chose her. And how did the Prophet chose her? It was via divine inspiration. The Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, had a dream, and supposedly a being or an angel, one or two, a man or an angel, showed him a image of Aisha in silk. Okay. And then from that moment onwards, he says, if Allah wills, if this is Allah's will, I will marry Aisha. And then he asked for the hand of Aisha in marriage. So
okay,
we can see there is a story.
Right. What you just quoted there was that I believe that's a hadith, yeah.
Yes. Let me
And
actually show my
who
before I'm.
who's the orator of that hadith?
Give me a hot second, because you know me, I hate
Okay.
actually speaking from the top of my head and not actually showing people the sources. So give me one hot second and I'll get it in there for you. Okay. But Karen talking, it's going to take me like.
No, because I would assume that's Abu Bakr, yeah, who have narrated that hadith. Is that the same Abu Bakr who's the father of Aisha by any chance?
Yes, it is. But let's actually get some information on the screen. Give me one hot second.
Let me, if you don't mind, let me say this real quick. Sorry about the answer. Where the Muslim ox at? Because it's a lot of you in the chat. I'll come in so you could weigh in on this, because it shouldn't be where it's infidels talking about this. Where the Muslim ox? Come in the chat so we could chop it up. This is important right here, right?
That's real talks, man. Real talks. We would love to get my Muslim brothers and sisters to come in and talk about this, because I know after the live stream is finished, we're gonna get a hell of a lot of abuse because there was no Muslims on the panel and so forth. And I'm like, listen, every single show, everybody is invited. All you have to do is email me. All you have to do is go in the description box and click the link, and you can come straight in right now. If you are my friend and you've got my phone number, all you got to do right now is simply phone my phone and we'll get you onto the show. It's that simple. All right. So over here, this is in Bukhari, and is volume 5, book 58, number 235. It says here, it's narrated by Aisha herself, that the Prophet said to her, "You have been shown to me twice in my dream. I saw you pictured on a piece of silk, and someone said to me, 'This is your wife.' When I uncovered the picture, I saw that it was yours. I said, 'If this is from Allah, it will be done.'" So that's one of the narrations. Let's see if I can just drop you a second narration just to solidify it. And it says here in volume 7, book 62, it says here, Allah said to me, "You have been shown to me twice in my dreams. A man was carrying you in a silken cloth, and said to me, 'This is your wife.' I uncovered it, and behold, it was you. I said to myself, 'If this dream is from Allah, it will cause it to come true.'" So, yeah, this is the story that's been supposedly narrated by Aisha herself.
Okay, so can I put a proposition forward, please, if I may? A hypothesis, even.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to help me a bit because I'm not very knowledgeable about these things. But from a political standpoint, Abu Bakr, was he related to the Prophet in any way at all, other than Aisha?
That's a very good question. As far as I remember, no. He was part of the same Quraysh tribe as the Prophet, but not directly related as far as I'm aware of. No.
That's as far as I remember as well. He wasn't.
Yeah. Go ahead. Are you there?
Right. Was he a caliphate? Was he a
Yes.
caliphate after the Prophet passed away?
Yes, he was. Yep, he was.
Right. So from a political standpoint, it would serve you in good stead if he was related to the Prophet in some way. And if his daughter was to marry the Prophet, that would give him a relation. So that would legitimize his caliphate afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's only a political view.
Correct.
Yeah, that's the only thing I wanted to highlight with that whole thing.
Indeed. And, in that video as well, the question was asked, would somebody object? Like, why didn't Abu Bakr object? Funny story is, according to some hadiths, Abu Bakr actually did object. He actually did object to Aisha marrying the Prophet. Not for the reasons that she was young, though, for some reason. For other reasons. Let's quickly see what the reason was. Just to open it up. Let's see. It says here, narrated, volume 7. This is Bukhari yet again. Volume 7, book 80, book 62, number 18. Narrated by Ursa. It says here, the Prophet asked Abu Bakr for Aisha's hand in marriage. Abu Bakr said, but I'm your brother. The Prophet said, you are my brother in Allah's religion and his book, but she, i.e. Aisha, is lawful for me to marry. Oh man.
Yes, very interesting. The proposition is that the Prophet wanted to marry Aisha, but I would say, what if we hypothesize that Abu Bakr kind of wanted to get his daughter to marry the Prophet? If I could give you a scenario, maybe that will help. Let's say you've got Titans TV, and I want to take over Titans TV, right? Now, if I have a daughter and you marry my daughter, and everybody else that is in line to take over Titans TV disappears, dies, or whatever, I'm a better place to say, listen, I'm going to take it over. You know why? Because Kalam was married to my daughter, so I'm at a better position. Do you get my point I'm trying to make there?
Definitely. I 100% agree with you. Politics, baby,
Okay.
politics.
Oh.
Politics, definitely. Like, you see me, like all these stories sound like story to me. Like it's, I take them with a pinch of salt a lot of times because, you know, for example, like if I was to really analyze these stories, and I'm gonna have to apologize because I know my Muslim brothers are gonna get angry at this. I have to be like, hold on, didn't the Prophet say that pictures are haram? If images are haram, why is Aisha being shown to the Prophet in a picture form? That sounds a bit odd. You dig what I'm saying? Who gets that?
And therein lies the problem. I think hadiths contradict each other so much. It's kind of like a Russian roulette as to which one you believe.
Let me do this.
And I would suggest that you believe none of them, you know, because it'll only cause you problems.
Let me do this and have some fun. Like, you know, like in one place here, it says that images are haram. They even say silk is haram at sometimes, okay? But this is for men. It says, yeah, pictures are haram, but the Prophet said, you have been shown to me twice in my dream. I saw you pictured on a piece of silk, and someone said, this is your wife. This is weird. And it says here, when I uncovered the picture, I saw that it was yours. I said, if this is from Allah, it will be done. And then you got, obviously, people are saying this was by divine inspiration. Listen, it seems right here to me that the Prophet, or if this is truly coming from the Prophet, it seems like he wasn't even sure. He wasn't even sure. He said, if this is from Allah. He didn't say, yeah, mashallah, this is from Allah. He says, if this is from Allah. That's hypothetical. He's saying there's a probability it can't be from Allah.
Playing devil's advocate there, Kalam.
Probably.
It wasn't actually a photograph, it was a dream. So I don't know, you might have to give him a blow on that one.
Boy, I don't know, bro, because if someone brought a picture on a silk, I don't know what do you say that is? Okay, so dream pictures are allowed. Dream pictures are allowed.
You have no control over your dreams, do you? You could dream anything, literally. Right?
Yeah, but Buddha, the thing is though, if he had said, I saw her in my dream, a vision of her in my dream, that's different. But he mentioned picture and uncovering the picture, meaning opening it to look at what's on the picture. So he did kind of imply that it's a picture that somebody showed him with a hand on a piece of paper or whatever, you know?
Yeah, true.
You know, let me complicate the issue if you don't mind, right? Because I hate to just make it feel like it's one side or the other, right? When we go to the Christian scriptures or to the Hebrew scriptures in particular, since the brother in the chat mentioned, there's a word called na'ar, meaning that it's okay for boys to marry at 12. But if we go yalada, it refers to a girl who is 11 years old, too young for marriage. So at 12, she's okay to be married. At 11, she's not. So this is kind of the same situation. You have 9, but then you have a 12 or 11-year-old. Should we still
Yeah, I think
draw
I think I raised the same issue about Mary being 12 when Jesus was born. That again was an issue, but I think that's not an accepted scripture from Christians, although it's accepted by Catholics. It's not accepted by Christians. So there again, there's the same hadith type. Well, which one do you believe, kind of thing?
right? And that's in the Hebrew, so we know that predates anything Christianity concerning.
Yep.
Uh-oh. We got a rich kid in the building. We got a rich kid in the building, baby. Oh, man.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's good, man? I missed you still.
What's going on? I heard some stories about some 9-year-old and 12-year-old. It sounds all a bit suspect.
Rich.
It sounds mad suspect to me, okay? Again, I personally, I like the whole Islam. I like Islam, yeah. People don't think I like Islam, but I actually do. I love Islam. And I'm gonna say, yeah, from my point of view, the story of the 9-year-old one sounds a bit odd and fishy to me, you know, to be real with you. And you know what else that sounds very fishy and odd to me? That this man was actually having sex, yeah, with all of these women. And why? And you're gonna be like, but hold on, he's married to all these women. Why does it sound fishy that he's having sex with all these women? What sounds very fishy and odd to me is that how can you have 9 wives, okay, concurrently, okay, at least 9 wives concurrently, but not one of them of your wives produced any children for you? It sounds highly suspect. And they go on like he was having sex like crazy. He was going around and just having mad sex, like supposedly. I don't know, bruv. I don't know. It just sounds odd to me. But why does none of them actually have any children for him?
Let's not forget the slaves as well.
Okay, and supposedly the slaves as well. It sounds very odd to me. I don't know. I honestly think, yeah, that some of these stories are actually, you know, have a political agenda behind it. And I don't know, you know, I've started questioning that. So right now it's in speculation period. I think to myself that he possibly could have been married to certain individuals, but married in terms of the legal sense and in terms of protection sense, rather than in the actual sense of consummating and actually, you know, knocking boots. Because if we did say he knocked boots, out of the whole, you know, 20 odd years or 9 years of you actually, you know, being married to a person and having sex with them, you know, a few times a week, like, why is none of them getting pregnant? I know me, bruv. If I stick it in, bruv, if I just lay the pipe right, if I just quack, and it just goes, both sides, finished. It's finished. 9 months. 9 months. I give you 9 months. 9 months. That's it. 9 months.
Astaghfirullah.
Astaghfirullah. 9 months later, you're carrying my youth, bruv. Don't tell me you're having, you know, relationships here with all these women, yeah, and none of them are producing your child. Like, to me, that's just like
Kalam, Kalam, you need to maybe accept the possibility that he had children, but look what happened to his family after his death. So there's a proposition there that he may have foreseen something like that his enemies would want to, you know, so obviously he would have hidden the fact, I assume.
You see, to me, it just all sounds a bit strange to me. So I think he may have had, if he had all these wives, he must have, or may have, the probability is high, he had children, or he never really actually, you know, had sexual relationships with these women. Therefore, they have no children by him. It's one of the two. Like, for me, I'm a bit, I don't know. They all sound a bit like stories to me. Like, there's nothing.
Well, did Jesus have any children?
There you go again, you know, there you go again. Like this is why I'm curious, you know, because I have to start wondering, yeah, were these men of color? Because you already know, like, man, them, like, it's hot, you know, it's hot out there. Arabia is a hot country, you know, and you see the way that when it's summertime over here and you're a man, every minute you're doing the business, bruv. And it just seems odd to me that nobody ain't getting pregnant, and you ain't got no contraceptions, you know. There's no contraceptions. There's no this Mary Ashley, whatever those people talk about. There's none of that. There's no birth control. But none of them are being pregnant. I don't know, man. I don't know. Leave me for a minute. Let me just contemplate on my life. Let me contemplate.
Well, it all sounds a bit suspect, doesn't it? I mean, you just wake up in the morning and someone come to you and said, somebody said. You're not sure which God is. We're not sure who's talking. It could be the devil. It could be God. Just like when Moses went up to the burning bush. We don't know what Moses saw, but we have to just take these people accounts. Every time there's a superhero, he's got many wives, like David, Solomon. I mean, I could go right through history and show you that. So why do I have to believe that Muhammad is any different?
Well, again, I'd like to look at it from a political standpoint. If you're trying to consolidate your power or your caliphate, the last thing you want to do is pinpoint heirs to the power. So by omitting that any children were in existence, you're consolidating your power. If you say, yeah, there was a child there, there was a child here, there was a child there, then you're leaving yourself vulnerably open for somebody to take power over you. So that's my political thing.
Like I said,
real quickly, I'm going to literally leave the mic open, yeah, for the next like few minutes. I'll let you guys get it in. I'm pretty sure that you lot can control what's coming out your mouths. So I'm just going to leave it open. If anybody would like to join us, okay, we have over 227 people tuning in right now, and only half of you guys are actually hitting the like button, which is kind of crazy to me. Only half of you guys, less than half of you guys, are hitting the like button. I'm sure there's been at least 1,000 people that have passed through and watched the show so far. Please, family, hit the like button, man, if you actually support what we're doing over here. Yeah, hit the like button. Show us that you love us. 227 people, they say, is tuned in. So hit the like button. Let us know that you're actually enjoying the show. You know, if you want to get up, like what we love on this show is people participating. So if you've got any questions, all you have to do is tag Titans TV and ask your questions. Okay. If you don't want to do that and you want to just come straight onto the platform, the link is literally down below in the description box. Click on it. Come on, ask your questions, you know, make your statements, make your comments, whatever the case is, and let's get it flowing, baby. We're all about it getting, you know, we're all here to talk, baby. We're all here to talk. But don't you forget, tomorrow, yeah, Mufti Abu Laif, yeah, is going to be on the platform. Okay, he's gonna be down, okay, in London. All right, let me quickly share my screen with you, yeah, so you can know who this person is. Sick individual, yeah. One of my brothers put me on him, and I was like, yeah, this is my guy. So right here, okay, Mufti Abu Laif. Right here, you can see he does his Monday nights with Mufti Abu Laif, why the Antichrist or the Dajjal concept is problematic in Islam, a reply to Abu Ibrahim, the age of Aisha. Now, this one here, if you lot got time, check out this show right here. If we're talking about the age of Aisha, this was a big boy topic. I believe it was Saracen that actually posed this question to him, yeah, and he went in.
Boy topic. I believe it was Saracen that actually posed this question.
1,000 views. Okay. Yeah, let me mute you. All right. Okay, cool. Let me just quickly see because we've got some new individuals that's in right now. Let me just make sure everybody gets their say. Brother Anthony, are you there? Anthony, are you there? Nope. All right. Brother Zaim, are you there? Zaim, are you there? All right, guess that nobody wants to talk. You know, all joining in but not talking. Jacob, are you there? Okay. Brother Mo, you there, right? Go on, King. Did you have anything to say? Just want to make sure that everybody has their ability to speak. Okay, I can't hear you. You need to fix up your mic. Okay, try to fix up your mic and come back in again. All right, because I can't hear you at all. Lorenzo, are you there? Okay, anybody who likes to speak that hasn't already spoken, please speak up now so I can control the vibe. Go on, Mo. I can't, you know, I don't know what's going on with your mic, but your mic is funny right about now. All right. I'm going to open it back up again for anybody. Whoever's got something to say, jump in and get involved still.
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions. Maybe Rich Kid can help me with this one.
Isaac, not Ishmael. Show
Rich
that.
Kid, can you hear me? Rich Kid, do you
Yeah, I
copy?
can hear you, brother.
All right, cool. Do me a favor. Could you tell me what the age of consent was during the time of Caesar, maybe? Would you know that?
The Romans.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's something I particularly know, but I know that the Romans didn't have that kind of thing in their history. Look at boys, maybe, yeah.
Okay. What about the Greeks? Would you
Same with
be
the
more
Greeks.
enlightened? I was going to say it's during that time period. During that time period, it's very incestuous and there's a lot of homosexuality and stuff going on there. So I was rather interested to know what the age of consent generally around that region. So the Greeks, the Romans, the Hebrews, maybe even the Egyptians.
Well, you know what? I heard people in Speakers Corner, when asked that question, they say, like, it's almost like everyone was doing it back then, but that wasn't the case. Everyone wasn't doing that back then. I mean, the Egyptians had established
Well, no,
culture.
I'm not talking about homosexuality. I'm talking about specific ages of consent within that time period.
Actual.
I couldn't really tell you that.
Well, I can tell
Anyone
you.
else on the panel?
I can tell you that Hatshepsut
Go ahead.
stepped in for Thutmose III before he was able to, because he was too young, you know, to reign as king. He would have been in danger in several other situations. Not only that, we know who rules Northeast Africa in that time, 3500 BC, and it's the Maasai clan. So we know the Maasai clan have a particular ritual for circumcision, don't we? So we know circumcision takes place. We also know they have a rites to passage and the time that you become a man, etc., etc. So we definitely know it wasn't in African culture at that time.
Okay. All right. Let me throw it back out there then.
Yo, can I ask a question? Can y'all hear me on the mic?
Yeah, I can hear you, Ralph.
Cool. My
Much
bad.
better.
I was having some trouble a little bit ago, but I had a question. It was to Brother Kalam. When Brother Kalam was speaking, he was it almost seemed like a lot of the especially with the pedophilia talk was like kind of aimed towards the Hadith and not the Quran, but the Quran very much promotes the idea of pedophilia, specifically Quran, Surah 65, verse 4. It says, such of your women who have passed the age of monthly courses, it's talking about the Ida, for them is a prescribed period. And if you have any doubts, the period is 3 months. And for those who have no courses, is basically the same. So when you read in the Quran, it speaks about the three groups of women. You have the women who are past the age of menses, you have the women who do have the menses, and you have the ones who have not yet reached their menses. And all three of them have a waiting period of 3 months, meaning that after that 3 months, you are lawful to do whatever it is that you want with them, even if they haven't reached the age of courses yet. So to say that the hadith are the only things that kind of promote the pedophilia is not correct at all. It's verified and it's actually practiced through the Quran.
Wow. Okay. Do you know what, Jacob? Are you there?
He was asking Kalam
Jake,
that question, I think.
okay.
I don't know if Kalam can hear still, but he was speaking to Kalam.
Go.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do this real quickly. So you basically said Surah 65 verse 4, correct?
Yes, brother.
65 verse 4. Do you know which Quran translation you read from?
The Quran that I currently own, the one that I read out of was the Saeed Vikr Ahmed. But again, when we start getting into the translations, I mean, all of them say the exact same thing, and it's all based around the idea of the iddah in Islam, which is the waiting period, and to make sure that the women are purified, that they're not pregnant, and that they're divorced from their husbands, so everything will be okay to go ahead and do whatever it is that you want to do. And the Quran is very specific. It names the three groups: the women who are done having their courses, meaning that they've reached the age of menopause, which is not happening no more; for those who do have the courses, which are women; and then you have the ones who have not yet reached the age of menses. There's only one group of people in the world who, or at least one group of women in the world who have not yet reached the age of menses, and we call those girls.
All right. Okay. I'm going to quickly just read out the verse. I'm going to have to come back in on you on this one. But it says here, Sahih International, and those who no longer expect menstruation among your women, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. Okay. So those who no longer expect menstruation, you wait 3 months. And also for those who have not menstruated, okay, and for those who are pregnant, their term is until they give birth. And whoever fears Allah, he will make for him or his matter ease. Okay. So basically, you're saying here that those who have not reached menstruation, right here is, so it's letting you know that you can actually have sex with somebody who is not menstruated yet. Correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Interesting. It's very interesting indeed. That's a good question that you should actually ask some Muslims. I could actually give you something, but that will be from the top of my own head. And I would love for you to actually get the answer from a Muslim itself. I know I've read this, or I've come across this with, what's his name? David Wood. David Wood makes mention of this verse right here. But it would be wonderful if we can get a Muslim to actually answer this question. Afterwards, I will give it a stab, but it would be best if a Muslim could actually answer this question, because I spend too much time defending Muslims, and then I don't want the Muslims to come on to me like, "Well, yo, Cal, you done it wrong. You should have said this." So hopefully we can have some Muslims to come on right now and actually defend that position, because you've raised a very interesting point. I've seen that point raised before by David Wood, and I was like, very good. Very, very, very good. I came with my own answer, but I would rather hear a Muslim come with their answer for that one. So if we've got any Muslims on the panel, please come in. And I'm going to leave this open for you lot to talk. I'm going to be off and I'll be back in 1 minute.
Jacob, you want to answer that, Jacob? I don't know if Jacob's there.
Yo. So what do you reckon, Rich Kid?
Interesting point. I'm just waiting.
That's news to me. I've never heard that before.
Okay.
But I was trying to, the reason why I brought it up, because it seemed like when you said earlier that these marriages were somehow political, or somehow there was some type of advantage to be gained from it. I don't really see that. What I see, especially through the Hadith literature, is, and this is just being blunt with you, is a bunch of men who are incapable of self-restraint. So these Hadiths had to have been sent down in order to guide them, because the Quran itself is not sufficient enough to guide people. So there's a reason why the Hadith literature had to exist. And I believe Muhammad got a lot of revelations on the fly. And that's the reason why whenever you read in the Quran, you always hear, and then it was revealed, because it seems Allah never seems to know about the problems before they come, but he always seems to have an answer right after. So I find it odd that that whenever a situation comes up, it has to be revealed, but yet Allah never gives the revelation before the problem comes. So what I would think is maybe this guy Muhammad was just bringing stuff off of the top of his head and used whatever would fit him at that moment. And it's the exact reason why he would always contradict himself, because he never really paid attention to the things that he said in the past, but the people who did, they would remember it. And so what would end up happening is he would say something later that would contradict it in the past. So in order for them to reconcile it after his death, they had to come up with the whole idea of nask, or the idea of abrogation. And so that's just my view on it. Maybe you have a better explanation.
I agree 100%.
No, I made the same observation, in fact. several times. Yeah, so I think we more or less concur with that.
Also, when you look at history, the principle of what they call the principle of embarrassment, when we actually view historical texts, we have to look at it with a grain of salt, and we have to examine to see if these people are really speaking truth or not. So it would make sense that
Hello?
if they were, it would
So
make
are you
sense,
guys Israelites?
brother. Nah, just let me finish my statement, then you can
Okay,
go ahead and
okay.
ask. Um, where was I going with that? Damn, I lost my point. It'll come back. Oh, the
Embarrassment.
principle, yeah, the principle of embarrassment. So when you look at history, or at least historical texts, we have to examine it to see if the people are trying to over exaggerate, if there's consistency in it, and there's many tools that we use to examine history. And what we do know is that if people are going to embellish something historically, most of the time they'll embellish it towards the positive. They'll never embellish it towards the negative. So if one man was a superhero, then next thing, hey, he had extra superpowers. You never hear about him losing powers.
Indeed.
So the principle, so the principle of embarrassment is going to assume that if something is embarrassing, if something is embarrassing and it's written down, it's more likely that that embarrassing thing would be true, because nobody would make up something embarrassing about their own prophet. They would say something positive about their prophet. So when I look at these hadiths, and they have this same consistency that just keeps following. Men who want to have sex, they allow prostitution and muta. Then you get the pedophilia, where Muhammad married a 6-year-old girl. He practiced what they call thighing, and then at the age of 9, he then consummated his marriage with her. These types of things, like I said, they show that not only was there no morality, or was there no sense of direction and morality, but rather these were things that were brought up on the fly to satisfy men at that moment. And it's exactly why they allowed them to have sex with slaves, and even if the slaves were still married. And this is the thing that's so confusing about Islam, because they claim to go back to the Bible, but you can't have sex or intercourse with somebody, even if they're a slave, if they're married. So again, it's just confusing when you start dealing with, especially the Hadith literature and the Quran. You see that all of these embarrassing things that they're saying, it's either A, they're untrue, but I find it hard to believe that they're untrue, because why would these Muslims make up something negative about their own prophet, when we know if you say something negative about Muhammad, that's worthy of death? If you bring mischief into the land, or if you cause any problems, you're worthy of being killed. How much more so would your life be on the line if you said something evil about Muhammad? But these people not only wrote it down, but they kept it and they preserved it. So,
Yeah,
like I
do you
said,
know?
Hello?
Let the
Hold on,
Muslim
Jacob.
brother
Yeah, so
Khalid
you guys
respond.
are
Hold
Let the
on,
Muslim
guys.
brother
One at a time.
Khalid
Jacob,
respond.
one at a time.
Yeah, let
one
the
thing
Muslim brother
you guys
respond to
are
it, because now we
Israelites.
actually got a Muslim in here.
Yeah.
Let him
Right,
So
respond.
Kelly Muller,
Yes.
hello, welcome to the thing. Did you want to say something?
So you guys are Israelites?
Oh
My
my
name's
God.
Buddha. Pleased to meet you.
Wait,
You asked
can
you
I
guys
can I respond to
Israelites.
65-4 quickly, and then I need to leave because I need to
Okay,
go to
go.
bed.
Kelly Muller, hold your mic, turn your mic up a bit, and mute it for now. But Jacob, go ahead.
All right, so the whole 65 is talking about divorce, right? And if you look from 1 till all the way, it's talking about divorce the whole time. So 65-4, basically the 3 months waiting period is you wait 3 months after the divorce to get married again. That's what the 3 months waiting period's about.
As well as the marriage, if you've
Well, because
just got
certain women can't menstruate in general. Some stop menstruating, some menstruate. So you wait 3 months. That's
I
what
hear
it's
you.
talking about. Because the surah is called talaq, which means divorce.
Yeah, I hear that.
Right.
I
The
I
whole
mentioned
verse,
that.
that's what it means.
I mentioned that. I mentioned that it was about divorce. I mentioned that in the beginning. The reason why is because some of these women were slaves, or some of these women had husbands before. That's not the issue here. The issue is not the waiting period. The fact that the issue is that there was a waiting period also placed upon those who haven't even reached the age of menses. That's what the problem is. I don't have a problem. Nobody has a problem if they make you wait 3 months to have relations with a grown woman, let alone a woman who has reached the age of menopause. Where everybody has the problem is the fact that you also set a waiting period for a child who yet in 3 months will not be a grown woman. In 3 months, there will be no difference.
Some women don't go through menstruation.
We're not talking about them. We're talking about what the Quran says. The Quran says those, hold on, the Quran says those who have not reached the age of menstruation. It didn't say those who don't have menstruation, the age of menstruation.
But here's the
Let's
thing,
not.
right? You guys follow the
Let Brother
Bible.
Khalil answer real quick.
Where does it say that?
Right, hold on, Jacob Mo. Could we just let Kelly Muller say something? Hello, Kelly Muller.
Hello.
Hello there.
Yes, so you guys are Israelites?
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah,
I
what's
just
the
want
matter?
to know if you guys are Israelites.
If we are,
what's that got to do with anything?
Okay, hold on, family. Hold on, family. Hold on, family. Hold on. Okay. So, my brother, this panel here, this Titans TV Talk with the Titans, we host discussions and presentations and debates with a whole range of individuals. We don't really care. We have atheists, we have Muslims, we have Jews, we have Hebrews, we have Moors, we have everybody onto the platform. So right now the platform is pretty much mixed with a whole host of individuals.
What are you yourself?
Sorry?
What are you yourself?
It doesn't matter. We don't really care about those things there. So do you have any questions or comments?
Yes. So what do you follow? You follow the Bible? You
All
follow
right. You're going off topic right now. So right now we're
talking
speaking
about the Quran, and you said the Quran says this. Do you realize the Bible has been changed many, many times? But the Quran is the original.
No problem. Right now, what you're doing here is something called diversion, a diversion tactic. Let me get the heat off because it's affecting me. Let me get the heat off me, and let me try to place the heat on somebody else. Right now, we're talking about Aisha. We're talking about underage sex. We're talking about these types of topics.
Okay. So where are you from?
Sorry.
So where are you from? What place?
It doesn't matter. I'm going to mute you when you have anything to actually.
I just want to know so I can relate.
When he's got anything else to add to the conversation,
I just want. I can. This is part of the thing I want to say. So where are you from? What's the estate?
Okay, I'll feel that, Callum. Just let me indulge this gentleman just for a second. Hello there. My name is Buddha, and I'm from London. How can I help you?
Oh, you're from London, all right.
So you are from?
So you're from Israelite?
Okay, my name's Buddha, and you're asking me if I'm an Israelite.
Correct.
Wrong. Buddha and Israelite don't mix.
I'm a Buddhist.
You're a Buddhist?
Yes. And you are, sir? Where are you from?
I am from Chicago.
Chicago. Okay. Okay. Well, Mr. Kelly Muller, we'll mute your mic for a little while, and then let somebody else talk.
So I have a question. Do you guys want to? Okay.
All right.
Okay, perfect. So do we have any other Muslims that would actually like to answer Surah 65 verse 4? Any other Muslims would like to answer that question? No? I'm actually going to go to the comment section.
To exchange email so we can.
All right, no problem. We can exchange emails. You can find my email down below in the description box, and we can exchange emails and we can talk further. If you got nothing else extra to add, simply log off this or
excuse me, Mr. Stupid, you're acting retard right now. You're making fun of.
Okay, and this is how we need to just get rid of certain individuals. All right, so does anybody else have anything to say on this particular chapter, Surah 65 verse 4? Anybody? Muslims, I'm calling you out. Please help me. No? Okay, so I'm actually going to answer Surah 65 verse 4, just so I can actually, aid my Muslim brothers. Unfortunately, it might be the wrong answer.
Mr. Stupid, why did you kick me off the chat?
Okay, so
fuck to you and fuck to your face right now.
Yeah, donkey.
What a dickhead.
So unfortunately, this is what happens, yeah? When we actually put the link inside of the description box, we have trolls that come in and they literally mess up the whole show. So I'm going to apologize to everybody for this individual.
Motherfucker asshole guy right now. You look like an
apologize.
This is like a Lord Peanut.
This is what happens. We got the trolls coming in. So it seems like we may just have to lock off the show because this is going to continue.
Joker.
So this is what we go through, This is what we go through. And then, certain people wonder, like,
Motherfucker, fuck to you. You look like a bald peanut.
And people wonder, people wonder, like, what's going on and why we have to go hard body on a certain group of people, because this is.
But imagine this guy's got like 7 accounts just to come and troll. You know how sad that is. Like,
very, very sad.
Man's from Chicago, couldn't even spell Chicago. Spell Chicago.
Like retarded Steph Curry.
What the heck? He don't even be cussing right. He just keep going, Kalam.
Yeah. So we may just have to lock off the show, because I've got a good feeling this is just going to continue, because this is what trolls do. Okay?
Fuck you. You have no hair. You are bald. You are retarded.
Oh my God. And how is his name Sean?
You look like a retarded motherfucker. Fuck to you right.
I'm going to need you to pronounce the language a little better.
Take off the hoodie right now. Take off.
I'm going to need you to pronounce the language a little better, little brother. You should end the show.
He's from Chicago. He's from Chicago.
Nah, you can't blame that.
It's sabotage, man. It's just pure sabotage.
Stop removing me! Stop removing.
Oh my gosh.
This is what happens. Family, this is what happens. When we actually share the link out, and
it's never been this bad. It's never been this bad, though, Kalam.
No, we've had worse. Trust me, we've actually had worse. We've actually had worse.
Fuck you,
ridiculous.
You fucking retard, mother.
What a sad fucker.
Fuck do you?
Can't be a Muslim using that language.
This guy sounds like Aladdin from that film, The Dictator. Aladdin, motherfucker.
The devil's double out this piece, man. He is bugging out. Slow down, little kiddo.
So, So yeah, family. Okay,
sounds like Uncle Omar. You liar, you donkey.
We might actually have to shut down the show, because this is what happens. Okay, every time we speak on like these type of Islamic topics here, we have very troubled individuals that come on and do madness. They literally come on and they do madness. Yeah, and it happens time in and time out again. And when we go so hard on a particular religion or particular faith, and certain people have a certain negative disposition, understand we don't have negative dispositions out of thin air. We have negative dispositions because time and time and again, we have individuals like this
for a reason
come on and want to cause us issues and cause us problems, and therefore it leaves us with a nasty taste in our mouth. This happens at Speaker's Corner, this happens in the comment sections, this happens via YouTube video trolls and so forth. This happens via trolls like this that comes onto the platforms. So I apologize, family members, for everybody who's coming in and seeing this madness, and this is what we have to deal with on a daily basis.
You do your thing, bro.
And it's a shame. Unfortunately, the 0.1% of silly individuals that claim to be Muslims. Yeah, again, I want to say claim to be Muslims, and they do this. It makes gives the impression that Muslims generally are like this. Why do I say that? Because we've only had 2 Muslims, Jacob and this individual, that's come onto the platform. Okay, and this is the representation that Islam gets, because this person comes on, acting as though he's Muslim, but he's not. Okay, I'm going to free my Muslim community from that individual and say, don't worry about it. I'm not going to hold it on you guys. I understand that some people do have mental health issues, and sometimes this is an outlet for them. They come on to do a madness, and they're actually making the community look bad. You're actually making Titans TV look bad, and you're making what we're doing over here look bad. We try to trust our audience members, okay? Even though time in and time out, we know what happens. Trust our audience members. We have trolls that come in, and do all types of madness. I'm sure you guys have seen the madness that have transpired. But anyways, let me keep it flowing, because we got people here that actually want to learn. So my brother Mo, you there, King?
I'm here, brother.
All right. So earlier on, you're saying that restate what you're saying, and I'm going to jump into it and try to answer it for Muslims. And I would love for my Muslims to come into the comment section and let us know if that is a valid answer. And of course, Mo is going to respond to me. He's going to say, no, I object to that and try to refute what I have to say. But I would love to hear what you guys would say. What's your answer? How would you answer this question? Okay. How would you answer this question? Right now, I'm putting on my kufi, I'm putting on my turban, and I'm trying to help you guys out.
All right. So do you want me to ask the question again, brother, or are you just going to answer? Do you want me to ask it again?
Yeah, please ask it again.
Okay. Well, my original question was, it was basically, like I was saying, my original question, and it's not just towards you, Kalam, but it's just towards Muslims in general who have this idea that they can pick and choose which hadiths they want to accept, and specifically the hadiths that speak about pedophilia. A lot of Muslims try to reject. So what I do is I go to their Quran, which they can't object to, and show that in Surah 65, verse 4, it speaks about the three classes of women: those who are past the age of menstruation and menopause, those who do have menstruation, and those who have not yet reached the age of menstruation. And all three of them have been made lawful by Allah for sex after 3 months, regardless of anything else. As long as that waiting period has passed, they are lawful to you, meaning that all women and even little girls are lawful to you. So why do Muslims try to make it seem like that only the hadith talk about pedophilia when the Quran is just as explicit?
Okay, cool. And I would respond. My first point of protocol is to read the verse, which I did earlier on. And I will just quickly show you guys again the verse. Hot second. Right here, and we've done this earlier on, Sahih International. And those who no longer expect menstruation among your women, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. Okay, 3 months. So this is, you wait 3 months. And for those who have not menstruated, and from those who are pregnant, their term is until they give birth. And whoever fears Allah, He will make for him his matter at ease. Now, earlier on, you said to have sexual relationship with them. You know, as far as I'm concerned, it's not to do with sexual relationship. It's actually to do with marriage. Is that correct? Is it to do with sexual relationship, or is it to do with marriage?
It has to do with both, because a marriage is not considered a marriage in Islam, forgive me, Muslim, but in Islam until you consummate it. And matter of fact, there is a specific hadith that mentions that, I don't want to remember it off the top of my head, but it basically mentions that women you cannot go and remarry. So if you divorce your husband, you cannot go and you can't remarry that old husband until the husband that you are currently married to, until you have sex with them. And then once you have sex with them, you are lawful to divorce them and get back with your original husband. So a marriage will never be a marriage until it's consummated. So until they actually have that sex, it's not a marriage. So the sex has to come before the marriage.
Okay. So what I'm going to say to you is this, that this is letting you know that, you can divorce these individuals. And after they're divorced, okay, or once they're divorced, you have to wait a certain time period to actually marry them. So, of course, marriage or the legal aspect comes first, and then the consummation comes second. Okay. So I'll explain that first. And then I want to jump into the tafsirs. Okay, the tafsirs is literally the commentary or the exegesis on the verse itself. It's kind of the explanation of it. And I'm going to quickly go there to see how or why this verse was actually revealed. So I'm actually going to what's considered to be the Asbab al-Nuzul by al-Wahidi. So the Asbab is literally the gate or the reason as to why the revelation was revealed in the first place. I'm just making sure. So this is the reason that they give that this revelation was actually revealed, or this ayat or this verse was revealed. It says here, and for those women, so I can actually maximize it a bit. It says here, and for those women, for such of your women as despair of menstruation, 65 verse 4, said Mukatil, when the verse, women who are divorced shall wait, keeping themselves apart. Khalad ibn al-Nu'man Ibn Qais al-Ansari said, O Messenger of Allah, what is the waiting period of the woman who does not menstruate and the woman who has not menstruated yet? And what is the waiting period of the pregnant woman? And so Allah, exalted is He, revealed this verse. Okay, so after this question was actually asked, okay, by this individual, the Ansari individual, a verse was revealed. It says here, Abu Ishaq al-Murki informed us on behalf of Muhammad ibn Abdullah ibn Hamdun, Maki ibn Abadan, Abu al-Azhar, Asbad ibn Muhammad, Mustarif, Abu Uthman, Amir ibn Salim, who said, when the waiting period for divorced and widowed women was mentioned in Surah al-Baqarah, Ubay ibn Ka'ab said, O Messenger of Allah, okay, so basically the verse was already revealed. Okay, for the waiting period for the divorced woman was already revealed, but then, O Messenger of Allah, some women of Medina are saying there are other women who have not been mentioned. Okay, so this is literally a concern of the community. The community was concerned that the Messenger or Allah did not mention all the different types of women. It was only the widowed women. So it says here, he asked him, and who are they? He said, those who are too young, such as they have not started menstruation yet, those who are too old, whose menstruation has stopped, and those who are pregnant. And so this verse, and for such of your women as despair of menstruation, was revealed. So the only reason why that verse was actually revealed was because the community was asking, because there was other individuals or other women, okay, who didn't fit the criteria of traditional widowed women, was not revealed. So they wanted to know how or what more is there, and therefore it was further revealed.
Okay. Well, brother, can I ask something about that though? Because when
Go
you
ahead.
just read that tafsir, it was very specific because it said about the ones who were not mentioned. And in that specific tafsir, it specifically said those who are too young. They're too young and have not reached the age of menstruation yet, which supports everything that I was saying, that it doesn't matter what the situation was and how it was revealed. What matters is what was revealed. And what was revealed was also a waiting period for those who are too young and those who are too old. Therefore, it's saying that even if they're too young, you still only have to wait 3 months. That's the part that everybody's having a problem with.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yes, there definitely is a waiting period for women who are too young. Like, it's like, oh, shock, horror. Like, somebody is married and she's too young and therefore she's having sex and so forth. But if we actually look, okay, if we go in and we actually go back and we look at the hadith that kind of makes mention of this. So let's quickly go there. And it says here, earlier on in the show, I'm not too sure if you was with us earlier on in the show. Was you with us?
I'm not sure how early, brother, but yeah, just show me and I'll let you.
So basically, I said that in terms of the marriage and so forth, there was ikhtilaf, or there was a difference of opinion among the people of knowledge. And it says here, given the orphan girl in marriage, some of the people of knowledge held the view that when the orphan girl is given in marriage, the consummation is postponed until she attains the age of responsibility. So even though somebody is married, it doesn't mean that they consummate the marriage straight away. They have to wait till the age or the period that they're actually responsible. In other ones, it also says that they also have to wait until they reach the age of puberty before the marriage can be consummated. She has to have reached the age of puberty, and she also has to reach the age of being responsible. So therefore, a person could be married at a very young age, but the marriage has not been consummated yet. So those ones who have not reached the age of consummation, they've divorced, okay? They still have to wait the 3-month period, okay? Just in case some funny business is taking place, okay? Just in case, okay, that she's showing with some small belly, just in case. Does that make sense, or am I rambling?
No, good.
There? Mo, let me know. Let me know if that makes sense.
Sorry, brother. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yes, sir. So my question was, then what is the iddah? What is the whole purpose of the iddah? It's not, because if anybody can get married, that's fine. You can marry somebody, but the whole point of the iddah is to wait until you have sex. It's not about you have to wait 3 months before you can marry her. It's you can marry her, but you still have to wait 3 months, even if you do marry her. It never says not once that you have to wait 3 months to marry her. The whole point is if you marry her, you have to wait 3 months before you can consummate it. That's the whole point of the iddah. Because if what you're saying is true, the iddah would be you have to wait 3 months before you can get married. But that's not what the iddah is about. The iddah is for those who are married. If you get married, you still have to wait the 3 months before you can consummate the marriage. But once that waiting period is okay, all of them are lawful to you. Girls, women, or old women. All three of them are lawful as long as you wait your period. So, of course, if it's a grown woman, she might be pregnant. But we have to remember, in the case of Aisha, she wasn't married to nobody. She had an iddah as well. The iddah also applied to her. And Muhammad waited 3 years before he consummated it. Because we have to remember, he married her when she was 6, and he consummated it when she was 9. So he went beyond what the iddah was. But even as a 9-year-old girl, that doesn't change the fact that he was a pedophile at 54 years old who had sex with a 9-year-old. The whole point of the iddah is not for the marriage. It's for those who are married, so that way they can consummate it.
Okay, so you're bringing up a term that I don't think I'm fully familiar with in this context. So could you just explain where you're getting the term iddah from, real quickly?
The word iddah which is what they use for the word waiting period. So I don't read Arabic. So when I looked up, when I research Arabic, they tell us, or the Quran, I should say, not Arabic. They tell us that there's the iddah, the waiting period, which is the 3 months. That's the reason why I call it the iddah instead of just calling it the waiting period. But the whole point of that iddah, when you look into the tafsirs, when you look into the Islamic scholars, they all explain the same thing, that you have the whole point of that is you have to wait 3 months before you can consummate. It doesn't say you have to wait 3 months before you're married. It says you have to wait 3 months before you basically consummate that marriage. So Muhammad, like I said, he followed the iddah. He waited 3 years, but the requirement is only 3 months. So as long as that waiting period has passed, you are now lawful to go into them. And as the Quran says, the women are your field. You can plow them as you feel. They're your tilth. You can plow them as you feel. And even in the hadith, even if a woman is on the camel and you feel that urge that you want to get down, she has to come off that camel and get down with you. That's how it goes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I want to try to get where you're coming from, but I also want to use the text to see where you're coming from. So I'm just going to read the Quran. This is from, we started from verse 4, but let's go from verse 1 and see if you can kind of point out where you're talking to me. It says here, O Prophet, when you, i.e. Muslim, divorce women, divorce them for commencement of their waiting period, and keep count of the waiting period, and fear Allah, your Lord. Do not turn them out of their husband's house, nor should they leave during that period unless they are committing a clear immorality. And those are the limits set by Allah. And whoever transgresses the limits of Allah has certainly wronged himself. You know not. Perhaps Allah will bring about after that a different matter. And when they have nearly fulfilled their term, either retain them according to acceptable terms or part with them according to acceptable terms, and bring to witness 2 just men from among you, and establish the testimony for the acceptance of Allah that is instructed to whoever should believe in Allah and the last day. And whoever fears Allah, he will make for him a way out, and will provide for him from where he does not expect. And whoever relies upon Allah, then he is sufficient for him. Indeed, Allah will accomplish his purpose. Allah has already set for everything a decreed extent. Continues, number 4, and those who no longer expect menstruation among your women, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. And also for those who have not menstruated, i.e., 3 months. And for those who are pregnant, their term is until they give birth. And whoever fears Allah, He will make for him of his matter ease. That is the command of Allah, which He has sent down to you. And whoever fears Allah, He will remove for him his misdeeds, and great for him his reward. It says, continues and quickly, lodge them in a section of where you dwell out of your means, and do not harm them in order to oppress them. And if they should be pregnant, then spend on them until they give birth. And if they breastfeed for you, then give them their payment and confer among yourselves in the acceptable way. But if you are in discord, then there may breastfeed for the father another woman. Okay. All right. So what you're saying here exactly is, explain to me what you're saying. So once you've read this verse, explain to me what you're talking about with the iddah and so forth. I'm trying to understand.
Well, the iddah, it stands for the waiting period. Mm-hmm. That's what it means, is the waiting period. So what this verse is specifically talking about is, as it was with divorce, it was based on those for who was in divorce. But you remember in that tafsir that you just read, there was a group of people who was not really mentioned when or having an understanding of how to deal with them, which is those who are too old and those who are too young. What Muhammad was, or actually, forgive me, what Allah said, what Allah was trying to say in this is that you have a 3-month waiting period. It doesn't say that you have to wait 3 months to marry them. It says you literally have a 3-month waiting period. And the reason why they have that waiting period, especially for the women who may be pregnant, is to make sure that you can see that they're either pregnant or they're not. But the question now becomes is, if it was for divorce, what is the point of trying to bring up this idea of iddah or divorce, or for those who are widowed, for a child who is prepubescent? No children are getting married and divorced. No children are being widowed. The whole point of the iddah is to say you have to wait 3 months before you can engage with them in normal marital relations. You can't do that until you can for sure know that they're either that the divorce period has passed or that they're not pregnant. If these two things have passed, they have become lawful to you. In other words, those who are of age, those who are too old, and those who are too young. Most of those don't apply to those who are too young, because no kids are getting divorced. No kids are being widowed. So what is the point of an iddah if somebody is prepubescent, if it isn't for sexual relations?
Okay. So as far as I'm aware, I don't know if we're crossing paths right now. So as far as I'm aware, yeah, this is about, correct me if I'm wrong. This whole, verses and chapters, this chapter and this verse here is about a man being married to a woman and then deciding to put her away. If she has gone past her menstruation period, okay, you wait 3 months before, your divorce is kind of fulfilled. Okay, that's the time when you can actually fully divorce her. Okay. Same with the underage woman. You could be married to an underage girl, for example. You've said, talaka or talaka. You said, you're divorced, but that waiting period is 3 months. It's 3 months regardless. You've married a woman, you've decided to divorce her, but she's now carrying your child. That divorce is only completed after she's given birth to your child. That's what I'm reading from the verse. I'm not really reading, what you're getting. So I'm trying to understand where you're coming from.
Brother,
Kalam, could I just hold on? Please, sorry, I'm gonna intrude and explain a few things. Because there's some terms being used and they're being used wrong. So, scholar gang, let's go. All right. So, firstly, on iddah, I've typed up a few things. So, basically, the definition of iddah: the period a woman must observe after the death of her spouse or after a divorce, during which she may not marry another man. So let's get that straight. All right. That's firstly, let's define iddah properly. Do you have any objections to that?
Yeah, I got an objection, but you go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Any objections, please state now, because I'm really about to go in, and
no objections so far. You're sounding on
You're
point.
saying
All right.
So what you're saying is that they have to observe a 3-month waiting period in order to get divorced. But the thing is, the Quran, it doesn't say nowhere about that. They have to wait. All the man has to do is mention 3 times that he is divorced, and they are divorced instantly.
Munir, mute your mic while he's talking, please. Yeah, go ahead, Mo.
And thank you, brother. And so all a man has to do is say 3 times that he is divorced, and that divorce is settled right then and there. The whole point of those who had Iddah was for those basically who were captured in warfare, or for those who, in this situation, it specifically mentions those who are widowed. Why does it say that? Because there was also slaves. There was also other women who were taken in. There was multiple marriages that were taken in. So there would have to be a waiting period to make sure that A, they're not pregnant, and B, that once that waiting period is passed, that supposed marriage that you had is no longer valid. Nowhere in the Quran does it mention that you have to wait 3 months to divorce anybody. All a man has to do is say it 3 times, and as long as he has 2 witnesses, he's good in the neighborhood. So what are you talking about 3 months to get divorced when the Quran is very clear about what it says?
All right, so my point there, you're saying something, but it's not Iddah. Iddah is a completely different thing as to what you're freaking saying, okay? Iddah itself, you're saying something. You need to understand that Iddah is not the term for that. Now let me go on to 65.4, because that's really where the crux of the matter is. So, firstly,
so are you gonna acknowledge my point? Don't acknowledge everything I just said before you go on to the next
okay,
point.
literally. I acknowledged it, and I know that's a separate argument as to what Iddah is. You're stating something. Yes, you are stating something within Islam. Wait, let me talk. All right. First, okay. So Iddah, you're literally using a term, and you're using it wrongly. You are saying something. Don't get me wrong. You're saying something. I disagree with it, but you're saying something. But it's not freaking Iddah. It's not. I just read you the definition of Iddah. It's not that. All right. So let me go. Okay, you are stating something, however. So let me address that thing. You're talking about 65.4. Let me address that, because that was the topic of this. All right. So let me address it. So the word Nisa. All right. They're saying that you're claiming that it can also refer to female children. All right. So let's go to the Arabic English dictionaries. The Arabic word nisa has been used 59 times in the Quran. Now, once was the word nisa used for children. It has also referred to mature adult women. All right. So let's get that firstly out of the way, that the word nisa in the Quran never used to refer to children. Do you have any objections to that?
Nisa. No, but first of all, nobody ever mentioned the word Nisa. A, and B, again, you're missing the whole point of what I just said. You said that you have to wait 3 months to get divorced, and I asked you, where in the Quran does it say that? Because the Quran says all you have to do is say that I divorce you 3 times. So now I just showed you what the Quran says. And again, I never said the word Nisa ever once. Everybody in this room, including Kalam, heard it clear as day. For those who are too young. So don't get mad at me at what your Quran says.
Okay, literally, I know you didn't talk about nisa, but the word used in there as to which you are referring to is nisa. So let me address that, please and thank you. All right. Do you know, now that you know the word referred in that is nisa, in that passage is nisa, and you're trying to say that that the word there applies to women of all ages. Am I correct in that?
No, brother, you're not. We're talking about the Quran where it says that those who are too young. What's the word because I don't speak Arabic, and I don't know if anybody else in this room does speak Arabic. So in the Quran where it says too young, you tell us what is the word that is used right there, because none of us knows it.
Okay, hold on, family. Let me just quickly get this in so we can all understand what's going on, because we might just be losing everybody. So just to get it back on track, we're now going through chapter 65 verse 4. Okay, it says here, and those who no longer expect menstruation among your women, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months, and for those who have not menstruated, and for those who are pregnant, and so forth and so forth. So what my brother who's just come on is talking about right now, it says here, and when you're looking at this word here, woman, this word here, woman, or your women, okay, it's talking about the word nisa or nisakum, okay? And that word nisakum, which is literally right here, Okay. The root of it, nisa, literally means a woman, meaning not somebody who is underage or young. It literally just means a woman. I think that's the point that he's trying to get to. Unfortunately, because we have a language barrier, the brother's mostly reading in Arabic and he's bringing the Arabic rather than what's in the English.
Yeah.
So the word that's there is nisa or nisakum, which literally means your women, basically. All right, continue. Continue, Munir.
All right, thank you. So I'll just. Oh, sorry. Do you want to?
No, go ahead, brother. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, brother. My bad.
Oh, thank you. So let's read the verse again. And those who no longer expect menstruation among your women, if you doubt, then their period is 3 months. And also for those who have not menstruated, and for those who are pregnant, their term is until they give birth. And whoever fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will make for them his matter ease. Quran 65:4, Sahih International Translation. The Quran has commanded Muslim women to observe a waiting period, which they must observe before they can remarry. This waiting period must be observed after they are divorced, which is a waiting period of 3 months. Critics often use the part where it says, also for those who have not menstruated, and conclude that this gives permission to Muslims to marry female children. Some other English translations render the word yet at the end of the passage. If you look at the verse just as it does not mention or state that you can marry female children. However, do you have any problems with those statements given before I go on to make any more points?
Yes, brother, I do. Because in the Quran, it specifically says those who have not reached the age of menstruation. And Brother Kalam also pulled up a tafsir for you that clearly said for those who are too old and for those who are too young. So now we got a Quran and a tafsir that's talking about children, those who are too young to reach the age of menstruation. And you don't need to be a biology major to understand what it means to not reach the age of menses. Those who have not reached the age of menses means that those who have not had their period, which means puberty. So again, it seems like you're having a problem because you're trying to point out specific words. I'm merely pointing out that your Quran and your tafsirs clearly give the idea of dealing with those who are too old and those who are too young. Nobody, I believe, in this panel or even in this room has a problem with those who are of age and those who are too old. The problem that everybody has is for those who have not reached the age of menstruation. That's what we're talking about.
Could you please point me to where this says those who have not reached, quote unquote, the age of who have not reached the age of menstruation? Could you please point me to that so I can address that as well?
Well, Brother Kalam had pulled it up on his app, but let me get my Quran. That's right with me right now. Quran 65 verse 4. So in the Quran it says, such of your women who have passed the age of monthly courses, for them is a prescribed period. And if you have any doubts, the period is 3 months. And for those who have no courses, who are the people in this world who do not have courses?
I object. Mine says, and those who are pregnant. That's a completely different translation. I'm going to have to, can you point me to your book?
Okay, well, I didn't finish reading the verse because I stopped right there, but it says, I can keep reading it for you. So it says, I'll start from the beginning. It says, such of your women who have passed the age of monthly courses, for them is a prescribed period. If you have any doubts, the period is 3 months. And for those who have no courses, it's the same. And for those who carry life within their womb, their period is until they deliver their burden. And for he who fears Allah, he will make their path easy for them. So it clearly mentions those who are pregnant. It clearly mentions those who are past the age of menstruation. That's called menopause. Now, what we're looking for are for those who have not reached the age of courses. Who are the people in this world who have not reached the age of menstrual cycles?
You said not reach the age of you said not reach the age of menstrual cycles. Mine says have not menstruated. Have not menstruated. I'm very confused because yours specifically mentions. Yours. You have just said reached the age. I have not reached the age. Mine says have not menstruated. You do realize that there are women who do not menstruate.
Brother, if you're the chances of finding a woman who does not menstruate in this world, I don't think is worthy of a Quranic verse. I think it's talking about the vast majority, the 99% of this world, unless your Quran is targeting a very, very small audience.
Yeah.
Let me address that further on, because I still have typed up a little bit more, and I'm pretty sure I tackled that as well. So I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna lay everything I have out, and then we'll pick it apart. Is that okay?
But can you answer my question though? Who in this world
Yes,
has not reached the age of menstruation?
Wait. I do answer that. If you allow me to continue, I do answer. I do answer that. If you let me go on. Is that okay?
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man.
All right. So let's go on. So oftentimes you will present scholarly works by Muslim scholars and twist their writings, implying to people who have no formal education in Islam that the Quran sanctions child marriage. Here is one such scholarly statement by Sayyid Abdul al-Maududi. Here, one should bear in mind the fact that according to the explanations given in the Quran, the question of the waiting period arrives in respect of the woman whose marriage may have been consummated. For there is no waiting period in case divorce is pronounced before the consummation of marriage. Therefore, making mention of the waiting period for the girls who have not yet menstruated clearly proves that it is not permissible to give away the girl in marriage at this age, but it is also permissible for the husband to consummate marriage with her. In reading the above commentary, critics assume that because marriage is allowed with a girl who has not yet menstruated, that she must be a child. In other words, the female is immature and has yet to grow up. This poses a question. Since when did menstruation become the only factor or criteria for someone to be determined as sexually mature? Regardless of the commentaries that mention being too young or a young age, we must ask how that indicates that this passage refers exclusively to quote-unquote children. The fact that none of the commentaries mention anything about children proves in itself that they're referring to adult females who have reached the age of maturity but who cannot menstruate because of either medical conditions or because some females just take longer to start their menses. I would like to point out to readers that nowhere in the passage 65:4 is there any mention of children. If God approved of children marriages, and the commentaries also agree and reiterate what the Quran says, as claimed by critics, then why isn't there any mention of this, either from the Quran or in commentaries? We need to ask, why don't they mention the term children? If Allah in chapter 65:4 approves of child marriages, why isn't the Arabic word iftal mentioned in the verse 65:4 as it has been done in the following verses 22:5, 24:31, 24:59, 40:67? And I'd like to also reiterate to Kalam's point previously that this entire thing is encapsulating specifically on divorce, right? And this whole, I do like Kalam's explanation actually, but I'll still go on. I'm not done. Sorry.
So my question then, hold on. My question is this though, because I don't think you realize what you said out loud. Now you're questioning what is puberty, and why is puberty a set age in order for people to engage in sexual relations? See, this sounds like now you're trying to make an excuse for what your Quran is trying to teach, but that's your problem, not ours. Next, also, Brother Kalam pulled up the tafsir that everybody in here read clear as day that mentions those who are too old and those who are too young. We're talking about women here. We're not talking about boys. We're not talking about dogs. We're not talking about fishes. We're talking about women. And it talks about 3 different states that women are in. Those who are past the age of menstruation, those who do have menstruation, and those who have not reached the age of menstruation. And it's clear as day in the tafsir. Forget these people who you're trying to go to. We're going to the actual tafsirs of the Quran that actually mentions those who are too old and those who are too young. Making this up when everybody clear as day can read in the Quran. It says those who has not reached the age of menses. And then when we showed you the tafsir says those who are too old and too young. So again, where are you getting your information from?
All right, I'll respond to this. So, firstly, you're mentioning too young. So let me go through this. Let me go through this. So you have a person, and that person is curious as to whether this person is liable to marry and therefore consummate. So you wait for 3 months. if that person has not yet reached the stage of menses, you do not go to them, as Kalam stated in the Hadith. Permits you to actually, it permits you to then, it permits you to, I don't know what that noise is, but if they have not reached the stage of menses, it does not permit you to have relational sexual relations with that person, because the age of maturity has to, or an age of knowledge, various interpretations of the word, has to be reached. If you can get what I'm saying, is basically what happens in this Islamic framework is you person A and person B. Person A is trying to marry person B. Person B is either too young, too old, middle way. We'll say they're too young. And so person A waits the 3 months. If they've reached the stage of menses, they can marry person B. If they have not, then they can't marry them because of the hadith mentioned and what occurred with Aisha radiallahu anha. And I'd like to mention, earlier you brought up a point that Aisha never got married beforehand. Actually, Aisha was prepared to get married beforehand, but the marriage fell out.
So you're saying she did.
I don't know what
prepare.
that guy's doing showing his stomach.
You said that saying that they did prepare, but she never got divorced. So that actually never happened. But again, when we're talking about
no, actually, wait, no. Aisha radiallahu anha, she was proposed to, and they were about to carry out the marriage. Everything was fine, but it had a falling out because Abu Bakr radiallahu anha actually he forbade it because of relations between the two families.
He forbade it. Come on, brother. If you're going to tell the truth, don't lie to the people in the room. The reason why that marriage was canceled is because Muhammad decided he wanted to marry her. So let's be real about that. Also,
because Muhammad decided, Muhammad wasn't even in the picture with this marriage. What are you talking about?
Calm down, my brother. Calm down.
Angry. So again, my question to you: everybody in this room has clearly read.
Bro, we're going around in circles over here, man. This is like the 5th time, man.
Thank you, Buddha.
Stalemate.
Hey, it is what it is, man. Like I said, all I've been pointing out to the room is that in the Quran and in the Hadith, it promotes it. And the best thing that you brought to us was trying to question the age of puberty now, which it seems nobody else has have a problem with that. But we know that you shouldn't be engaging in this until you have passed the age of puberty, or at least you're there. But now you're trying to make an excuse for it. And so, like I said, either way you put it, brother, your Quran, your hadiths are very clear. Even the top seer said, for those who are too old and those who are too young, it's not hard to grasp that. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to find a way to justify it, trying to find whatever answer you can to make it okay by even questioning what our modern view of puberty is. But again, that's not our problem. That's an Islamic problem. And that's how the rest of the world views it. And the reason why the people get this idea is because they go actually into your texts and they find this. And instead of coming up with a reasonable answer for the people, you try to question the people's intellect. And that's where your problem lies.
I never once at all question the age of when a person menses. I never once stated that in my argument at all. But I'm going to calm down a little bit and I'm going to explain it to you again, how this verse formulates it and how it was actually carried out. Now I'm going to give my person A, person B example, and you tell me where I went wrong. Person A wants to marry person B. Person B is too young. He waits 3 months until to see if they have menstruated. If person B has not menstruated yet and they are not going through their cycles, person A is not allowed to marry them. If person B has menstruated within the 3 months, then they're allowed to marry. Tell me where I contradict the Quran in this entire thing. All right? Tell me.
Okay. Well, you just said that if they get married, you can't do nothing with them because they haven't reached the age of responsibility. But the Quran clearly says that they're lawful for you. It says, for those who are past the age, it's 3 months. For those who haven't reached it, it's 3 months. Where does it say you have to wait until they have the age of responsibility? Show me in the Quran where it says the age of responsibility so I can correct myself.
Are you taking a Quranist view, yes or no?
It doesn't matter what view I come from, Quran or Hadith. It doesn't really matter.
You're legit going to a Quranist view. If you don't want to take the Hadith at all, you're going to a Quranist view. You can't do that
Bro,
because the Quran explicitly says to go to Hadith.
Okay, brother. Well, let me tell you something. I'm trying to approach it from a Quranist view, because even Kalam and everybody else in here can recognize how terrible your hadiths are. If you want me to dig into your hadith and show you how much pedophilia is found within it, I would be happy to show you. But I was just trying to give you the Quran.
Legit? Yeah. Okay. That's a separate topic. That's for another day. However,
it's a separate topic,
within this, within this, we are not. I never once agreed that we were taking a Quranist view. Are we? Why are we taking a Quranist view when the Quran tells you to go to Hadiths? So I'm very confused. We never established that we were taking a Quranist view.
So do you want me to bring you the pedophilia Hadith verses? Because I mean, there's plenty, much more than your Quran.
No, please don't.
Hold on. Real quickly. Let's I don't know. Let's kind of draw away from main claims such as that P word. Okay. Let's just say say what the actual act is rather than labeling it as such, because we don't know whether it is such. That makes any sense. Let's be delicate. Let's be sensitive, and let's try not to offend people if that's possible. All right. Because I hate
my apologies. What a Quranist view is, where you don't take any hadiths into account and you go strictly with the Quran, despite the Quran telling you to go to hadiths. But it did tell. Okay, the Quranist view is a view propagated by people who have left Shiism after converting to Shiism from Sunnah. They've developed their own Quranist view. They have justifications for it. People have countered those justifications, but it's a view. All right. So I was not aware that we were taking this view.
Brother, I was never taking a Quranist view. I was just merely showing, because Brother Kalam earlier said that there was a lot of dirty hadiths and he didn't know how much he can put into them. And so all I merely pointed out to the brother is that in the Quran, those same ideas are propagated. Now, it's even more propagated within your hadiths, but I was trying to use the Quran because when I deal with Muslims, it seems whenever I seem to bring a hadith that they don't like, they'll say, I don't like that because it contradicts the Quran. So they'll always say, go back to the Quran. And then when I start going to the Quran, they say, no, don't do that. Go back to the hadith. So all I was doing is just going on the merry-go-round for you again. And I was merely trying to show Brother Kalam that these ideas were not just found within the hadith, but is actually supported by the Quran. That's the reason why I've been using the Quran.
So let me outline your entire claim right now so I can go through it. You're stating that nikah to be consummated, or marriage to be consummated, if they are too young, after you wait the 3 months, you do not have to check whether they have menstruated or not. That's what you're stating. That's what you're claiming.
I'm saying that for every woman, there's a 3-month waiting period, and then you can consummate your marriage with her, because the Quran says. That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying that after you wait the 3 months, you don't check if they have menstruated or not. You just go straight in and you can have it. That's what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, brother, because the Quran says it.
All right. Now, here's where I disagree with you. So, what I disagree with, and is what many a scholar say, is that after you wait the 3-month period, you check if they have menstruated. If they have not menstruated, you cannot consummate the marriage. If they have menstruated, if they have not menstruated, you cannot consummate the marriage. If they have menstruated, you can consummate the marriage.
Can you refer us to the verse that says that exact thing that you just said, that if you check them and everything is okay, then it's okay to go in, and if not, then you have to wait even more? Can you show us that verse?
No, I would refer to the fact that they said, the fact that the Quran says lawful to you are the woman once they've reached the age of maturity, or like the Hadith says, age of maturity, etc.
So you're saying that the Quran doesn't support that, but the Hadith does.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that once you see if they check the age of maturity, because that's already been established. It's already been established that you have to check if they have reached an age of maturity. And so what the 3 months does, you wait the 3 months. If they have reached the age of maturity, if they have reached the age of maturity, you can have sex with them. If they haven't, then you can't.
But if I remember correctly, nowhere in the Quran does it mention the age of maturity. It never says age of maturity. Can you show us where it says that?
Yeah, give me a sec, real quick. Yeah, I'll just give me just like 5 minutes, all right? Respect. I mean, if you don't want the 5 minutes, can you give me 5 minutes? Is that okay?
All right. Yeah, we'll give you the 5 minutes. Seems as though everybody kind of got kicked off the thing. I've got a few things. Let me quickly see what somebody's, messaging me. Are you who believe when you marry believing women and then divorce them before you have sexual intercourse with them, no iddah, divorce prescribed period, have you to count in respect for them? 33:49. Or you who believe when you marry believing women and then divorce them before you have sexual intercourse with them, no iddah, divorce prescribed period, have you to count in respect of them? Okay, cool. And that's from Surah 33 verse 49. I'm just going to quickly just check in on some other messages that's been sent over to me as well. There is a reference in Ibn Kathir. I'm just quickly reading out Ibn Kathir. I believe this is his tafsir on Surah An-Nisa verse 6. And try orphans as regards their intelligence until they reach the age of marriage. If then you find sound judgment in them, release their property to them, but consume it not wastefully and hastily, fearing that
I was just about to bring that up.
And whoever amongst guardians is rich, he should take no wages, but if he is poor, let him have for himself what is just and reasonable according to his work. And when you release their property to them, take witness in their presence, and Allah is all sufficient in taking account. This is English Mohsin Khan via iQuran. And then also, I should really read Ibn Kathir on this, but I'm going to leave it up to you now, my brother, to continue this onwards. I'm just trying to help out my Muslim community. Go ahead.
All right. So I was going to bring up that verse that Kalam brought up, and another verse, 425. So firstly, what 4:6 establishes is that there is an age of marriage. So despite the counterclaim that there is no age of maturity, etc., there is an age of marriage. But now let me bring up Quran Surah 4, verse 25, and Kalam, you can bring this up for everyone else to see. If any of you have not the means wherewith to wed free believing women, they may wed believing girls from among those whom your right hand possesses. And God hath the full knowledge about your faith. You are from another, wed them with the leave of their owners, and give them their dowries, or whatever. According to what is reasonable, they should be chaste, not lustful, nor taking parameters when they are taken in wedlock. If they fall into shame, their punishment is half that for a free woman. This permission is for those among you who fear sin, but it is better for you that ye practice self-restraint, and God is oft forgiving, most merciful. A girl starts out as being a child. This is further proven in verses in Quran 22:5 and 40:67. Above is used child. Then she becomes a fatat, which means your young ladies, which is derived from 425 as stated earlier. So what this establishes is that yes, there is a difference between child and young ladies, and that and then you may marry young ladies, but not a child, and that there is an age of marriage, in fact, that you must check for after the waiting period has gone.
Okay, so
and also, Quran 24:59 states, "But when the children among you come of age, let them ask for permission, as do the senior to them in age. Thus does God make it clear His signs to you, for God is full of knowledge and wisdom." come of age in this come of age here is literally translated. The word come of age literally means when the child knows about sex. When you go into the linguistics of said verse.
Okay.
Which child knows about sex?
The child which is mature. The child which is mature.
You made my stomach turn when you said that. There is no mature child. The child is a child.
Can I ask you a question?
No. I'm using the word child. Like the child. When the child knows about sex is when they become that. When they come of age. So they're no longer a child because they know of sex because they've come of legit. They just says that. To come of age, you must know about sex, which means you're not a child. You're a person who has come of age, which is what that means.
Brother, I have a couple of questions for you then. Since that's the standard that you're setting, and I'm kind of glad you kind of skipped the whole idea of the Quran. So I got a couple of questions for you. So according
I didn't
to
skip. I just quoted the Quran.
Okay. Sahih al-Bukhari, Volume 7, Book 62, number 64. Narrated Aisha says that the Prophet married her when she was 6 years old, and he consummated his marriage with her when she was 9, and then she remained with him for 9 years. So that's one. So now let's go on to another verse. This is Sahih Muslim. It says Aisha reported Allah's messenger married me when I was 6 years old, and I was admitted to his house at the age of 9. She further said, we went to Medina, and I had an attack of a fever for a month, and my hair had come down to the earlobes. Ruman, my mother, came to me, and I was at that time on a swing along with my playmates. And she called me loudly, and I went to her, and I did not know what she had wanted of me. She took hold of my hand and took me to the door, and I was saying, "Ha ha," until the agitation of my heart was over. She took me to a house where had gathered the women of the Ansar, and they all blessed me and wished me good luck and said, may you have a share in good. She, my mother, entrusted me to them. They washed my head and embellished me, and nothing frightened me. Allah's messenger came there in the morning, and I was entrusted to him. And it clearly says that she was playing on a swing with her playmates. Okay, that's another one. Let's go to another one. Sahih Muslim, Book 8, number 3311 says Aisha reported that Allah's apostle married her when she was 7 years old, and he was taken to her house as a bride when she was 9. Her dolls were with her, and when the prophet, died, she was 18. So not only was this girl playing on swings with her friends, but she had dolls. But you're telling me she was old enough to know about sex? Is that what you're telling me?
Alrighty, so we're going into the age of Aisha radiallahu anha. I have documents on top of documents on top of documents about this. Kalam, will you afford me another 5 minutes to prepare myself?
I just asked you a simple question. Is that an age old enough to know about
Sir,
sex?
I just told you I'm prepared for this argument. Give me 5 minutes and I'll address it. Can I do that?
I don't know what there is to prepare. Was she a girl playing with dolls and swings? And you're saying that kids on dolls and swings know about sex?
You legit just pulled up answering Islam and all these other claims that I've heard 1,000 times. So let me get out the reports that I have, that my own documents, so I can refute it. I mean, I've heard this like a millions of times. You think I'm an idiot, huh? Like I know what you're talking about. I know about age of Aisha radiallahu anha. Let me get out my documents.
Go ahead, brother.
We're gonna wait for the brother Munir to come back. Family, I know is getting real interested and so forth. There's over 250 people tuned in. Again, I know there's been maybe like 2,000 people that's passed through, said hi and gone and so forth. Yeah, but please, hit the like button if you appreciate these shows. Please. Let's get it in. I really want to get it in, but please hit up the like button. Share the links with your friends. I don't want to spend much more time on here because we've gone over the 2 hour mark. It's saying, all right, it's saying that we've gone over the 2 hour mark right now. So it's kind of a long show. Tomorrow is Speaker's Corner, right? Who's going? Okay, so real quickly though, we're now jumping on to the age of Aisha. Again, I'm going to actually refer you guys back to Mufti Abul Aif. To actually check out his his question and answer period. Let me see if I could just share the link with you. I thought this was a very good breakdown of the age of Aisha. I would recommend it. Please go on there, check it if you've got some time, if you really are interested. This is one way of viewing things. I believe he is coming from the Maliki school of thought, okay? The Maliki madhab. So please go there, check him out. There's other brothers who've actually dropped videos on this itself. And I would always tell you guys, if you are part of the Salafi community, to always go and check out my brothers over at Sunni Dawa. Let me see, where are we? Yeah, Sunni Dawa, right here. We got here an announcement clarifying the age of Aisha. So this is going to be very interesting. Okay, click here, click on his channel, or click on this channel, the Sunni Dawa channel. Of course, it's got my brother Shamsi that's going in. All right, go on there, hit the like button, subscribe to him if you haven't already subscribed to him, and check out what he has to say on the age of Aisha. Hopefully, we're going to get something from my Shia brothers as well. Let me quickly go over to my Shia brothers. They're over at Bayat al-Ghadir. Make sure I promote all the Muslim brothers real quickly. So if you go over to Bayt al-Ghadir, check out their channel and see what they're speaking about. I don't think they've done anything yet on the age of Aisha, but if you ask them, just go on there, drop some comments. Is there a discussion section? Yeah, drop some comments on here and ask them to do a show on the age of Aisha. Unfortunately, I don't have any Sufis. Somebody just mentioned something about Sufis in here, but I don't actually have any Sufis that I'm subscribed to at present. So if there is any Sufis that have another way of looking at the thing to do with Aisha, I would love to invite you guys on or to promote your channel, just so we can have a variety of how Muslims view this. Okay. I won't even front to you, I won't even front to you. Real quickly, the age of Aisha being 9 years of age in terms of having a sexual relationship, I find that very troubling. Personally, I find it very troubling. Okay. But I'm always open to hear what the brothers do have to say. And so far, I haven't received anything that has made me think, yeah, that sounds all right, from certain brothers that aligned with the 9 years old version. If we do have somebody here that's speaking on the 9 years old version, please, I would love for you guys to come on and to provide as much evidence as possible, because that's something that's always troubled my heart. I'm not even going to front with you. It's always troubled my heart when I've heard it. And I'm like, boy, I don't know about that one. But hopefully we get some really brothers that can actually educate us on this situation. Brother Munir.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. So I'm going to tackle this. From two different viewpoints, since I've looked into this lots. Okay, I've done lots of research on this. So let's take it from the viewpoint that she was 9 years old. All right. So contrary to what you were originally stating, she reached the age of puberty. That's why the waiting period was carried out. B, the marriage happened 1400 years ago, not today, and at the time, their marriage was not considered unusual, and the proof is that the enemies of Muslims at the time did not criticize his marriage. They attacked Prophet Muhammad ﷺ on many things, yet did not criticize his marriage to Aisha. All right, so let's say she was 9, all right? But I happen to take the viewpoint, of a different viewpoint, and I'm going to run you through everything according to the same hadiths which claim she was 9. All right, so I'm going to run you through everything. So we're going to go into the history of the Prophet's marriages, and basically the history, and establish a little bit of a different viewpoint. All right, so Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, as we all know, married Khadija at the age of 25. He was married only to her, and until she died when she was 50. They were married for nearly 20 years. He remained unmarried from ages 50 to 52. Between ages 53 to 60, he married his other wives. He spent time with them due to his many travels and the wars. He married these women despite the ban on more than 4 wives for the following reasons: to preserve the teaching for the next generation, to cement tribal alliances and seal treaties, to care for and protect the widowed and orphaned women by bringing them into his family, and to demonstrate the just and compassionate treatment of women. He did not have mistresses nor cast out any woman. To be a role model to Muslims, Most of his wives were old and previously married. Many were from other nations. Two were the widows of former enemies. He did not rape and discard or kill these women as was the custom of the time. These women brought all their people into Islam. All right, so moving on. In total, Muhammad ﷺ was married to 12 wives. When he died, he had 9 wives. Their names are.
Sorry, Munir. Sorry, can I just intervene there? Did you mention his first cousin? Did you mention his first cousin? The Prophet's first cousin. Did you mention her? First cousin. Did you mention her? Zainab?
What? No, I'm going through them right. I'm going through them right now. But that's a separate claim. Can I just deal with this?
Okay. Go ahead.
I mean, I can't. We're gonna deal into the sun murking into the water, huh? That's next? All right. So, moving onward. I don't have to list off the names because everyone here knows them. Aisha was Muhammad ﷺ's last wife, and they considered her the greatest woman in Islam. She came from a family that was noted for their learning and education. She herself was very well educated and was a teacher, cleric, and military leader during her lifetime. She was engaged to another before Muhammad ﷺ, but the engagement was broken when the fiancé refused to convert to Islam. And Abu Bakr expressed distaste of the family. Was Aisha radiallahu anha 9 years old when they married? No. But don't the hadith say that she was? I mean, some do, but they all quote one very old man and are considered weak hadiths. The hadiths are the recollections of Muhammad ﷺ's companions. Some are strong and well documented and supported. Others are weak because they are not supported, not witnessed by others, contradict others that are and contradict the others that are supported. Here's what we know about Aisha radiallahu anha that makes her a lot older. Aisha radiallahu anha was always referred to as Bikir, which literally means an adult unmarried woman who is a virgin. That's what it means. Do we have any objections to that?
Yep.
Why does Bikir not mean an adult unmarried woman who is a virgin?
Everything you said is wrong, brother, but keep going.
Whoa, everything?
Why is it so important for the Prophet to marry a virgin?
I'm telling you what it's referred to as. I'm not saying why it's important. I just told you that in literature, she's linguistically referred to as bikr, an adult unmarried woman who is a virgin. That's what the word means.
That's fine. I comprehend English pretty well. My question to you is, why is that so important?
What do you mean? I never said it was important.
Okay, I didn't say you did.
I legit just told you that he was married to people who were previously unmarried. Who were previously married. What?
I'm just asking you a question. Why, of all the wives he married, Aisha was a virgin? What's the prominence of that, if there is any, or don't you know? You can say you don't know.
It's to make her as holy as Mary.
Exactly. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
If you guys can put.
Hello?
Yeah, Manny, I think you've muted your mic.
Yeah, you've muted yourself, bro.
I thought that was my internet cutting out again. I was going to say, you see that Virgin Media? You know what, family, yeah?
Yo, I mean, come on, Kalam, can I just say this? I mean, can you please interject when, like, I'm trying to address this age thing, but you guys, like, I'm just saying, like, can you stop, like, deferring and making side comments that refer me to another topic that I have to tackle?
To stop.
Can you stop getting excited?
No, I mean you're deferring me. I mean,
make your point, bro. Just make your point.
Take side comments and then go into. Just make your point. All right, thank you. So stop interfering. All right, so and basically, like I said, she was referred to as bikr, which literally means an adult unmarried woman who is a virgin. She was never referred to as jahriyah, which is a young girl. And so let me quote Quran 4:5-6. And make not over your property of the orphan, which Allah made a means of support for you, to the weak of understanding, and maintain them out of it. Clothe them and give them food and give them good education, and test them until they reach the age of marriage. Then, if you find them maturity of intellect, make over them their property. No 7-year-old nor 9-year-old is mature enough to handle her own finances and property. Yet Aisha radiallahu anha was given hers at marriage. So let's move on. Aisha's exact birthday is unknown, but she was born, quote unquote, before 610 CE when Islam was revealed.
What are your sources? You just been talking. You haven't gave us no sources on anything. Stop giving us your opinions. Name where you're getting this information from, so that way we can follow along.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything controversial,
brother. It doesn't matter if you're saying anything controversial. We can verify what
Well,
you're
you're
saying.
giving an
Give us
opinion.
sources.
Okay. I mean, I carried this. I gathered all this stuff. Will go
From
a long
what?
time
What did
ago
you
from
gather?
various sources, but a lot. Like I'm telling you, I've dealt with this before. I just carried it onto a Google Doc.
That's cool.
That
I trust you. I
Kalam, get
trust you.
control over this room, brother.
All right, you know what, family
Huh?
tree. Let me say something right now. Yeah, we're almost going on to the third hour mark, and that's kind of long. Can you lot mute your mics, please? Thank you. Yup. All right. You know what? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to, postpone this show and continue at a later date and go into detail with it. Unfortunately, I don't have the time. I don't have the energy to actually moderate the show. To be honest with you, I'll be real with you. I really don't have the time and energy for that right now. So what I would love to do is kind of reach the end of the show. Okay, we need to reach the end of the show. We're gonna definitely continue this off air. And since this is such a very, pertinent point that's always being raised, we're definitely gonna, revisit this. I think we're definitely gonna revisit this. Hopefully, at Speaker's Corner, you can revisit this. And those of you guys, yet again, okay, I'm saying to you guys, if you would like to participate, come down and actually meet Mufti Abu Laif tomorrow with us. Okay, if you would like to come down and meet Mufti Abu Laif with us tomorrow, all you have to do is email me. Okay, email me at kalam@live.co.uk. My email details are literally in the description box. Email me there. There is a small price to pay, okay? And again, the small price is most probably less than your breakfast, is most probably less than your lunch or your dinner if you was going to go and purchase it outside. If you're going to go to a shop and make a purchase, it's going to be most probably less than that. Okay, so it's a very minuscule, donation that we're asking for, and that donation is not simply being pocketed for profit. We're actually not even doing it for profit. We're actually doing it because we want you guys to learn. We're doing it because the place that is being rented out, okay, has to be paid for. This individual is coming down from a very far distance. Their travel needs to be compensated for, and so forth and so forth. Okay, so please come down. Okay, it's a very small donation. I'm the one who actually done this. It's not actually me that has actually set up this event. If you want more information, I have seen that my brother Saracen is in the building. Okay, Saracen is in the building. So if you don't want to get in contact with me, please get in contact with Saracen 786. He's there right now. Okay, get in contact with Saracen as well. Okay, and you can get the further information from him. All right. So there is two means of getting information. You can simply email me and get further information, or actually message Saracen. There's other individuals that's going as well. So if you're Shia, get in contact with Raza as well. Okay, I know he's contacted me. Seems like he's definitely gonna go as well. So we're all going together as a community. So if you can't get hold of me, you can't get hold of Saracen. If you can't get hold of Saracen, get hold of Gabs. If you can't get hold of Gabs, get hold of Raza. If you can't get hold of Raza, who else can you get hold of? I'm thinking, who's here right now? Who's coming tomorrow? Who's coming tomorrow? Anybody here on the panel who's coming tomorrow that would like to go? No one. Brian is in the building. So Brian as well. If you can't get hold of any of us, get hold of Brian, okay? Because we're definitely going to pass on the information to Brian, and you lot can come in as well. My brother Brian, can I just get you to come in real quickly? Because I know you've been quiet. I don't know if you wanted to say anything to the family before we even close out.
Just listening in, really, to be honest. Found it quite interesting conversation. Some good points made. Awesome. Is this something that you've heard before or you've been interested in before? I've been following your channel for quite a while, and the Speaker's Corner stuff. So yeah, it's quite interesting. I'll keep watching. Perfect. See, this is what I love. I love people who may not normally have an interest or may not normally know about issues that's relating to either Islam, for example, but because we have such a very vast audience base, like literally right now we've got Buddhist, we've got a Kabbalist, we've got an atheist, we've got a Hebrew, we've got
you know,
An
Muslims,
extremist Christian.
Extremist Christian. We got all different types of people that's tuning in right now on the panel. So just imagine there's all those different types of people that are tuned in, not actually participating on the panel, but are tuned in. And I definitely think that, you know, if you're Muslim, want your you know, you want the image of Islam or your version of Islam to be seen, this is definitely the place for it, for everybody to see it. A lot of times on the Dawah channels, you're literally just preaching to the choir. Okay, you're literally preaching. Shout out to Priyesh. I believe that is a Sikhi brother. I'm assuming. I don't even know. I don't even know what you are actually. I'm just assuming. But we have all different types of people: Sikhs, Hindus, all sorts, Kemetics, all sorts of people tuned in. And this is gets us to kind of be familiar with the Islamic argument. You know, we usually have the atheist argument. We usually have the Sikhi argument. We usually have the Hebrew argument, and so forth and so forth. And it's so nice because we have a diversity. You know, our audience is very diverse and we get to learn from each other, and that's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Hindu, shouts out to Priyesh, my Hindu brother as well. So yeah, I can see that a couple of you guys would like to just jump on. I'm going to shut down. Okay, I'm shutting down, but Munir, you have literally 20 seconds to say what you have to say. 20 seconds.
All right, I'll go in. So basically, Kalam, thank you very much for having me on. Basically, I'm definitely going to rethink my arguments. Definitely, that's what I want everyone to do. Go away from this thinking about your arguments, etc., etc. But Kalam, maybe after the show, maybe perhaps not live, but I wanted to confirm my definition of your Kemeticism because I was going into a little bit more research about that. Perhaps I can confirm it with you after the show is not live anymore.
Definitely, no problem. All right. There's a few of you guys that's trying to get in contact with me. I will definitely send you guys emails or Hangouts messages to get you onto the show. So if you've been part of a previous Hangouts and you want to get onto the show, just simply message me. Don't call me, message me on Hangouts and I'll definitely send you guys the link. Okay. Family, it's been an absolutely wonderful show. I would love to host you guys a little bit longer. We're going to go on till about 6 a.m. in the morning. Maybe till 10 a.m. in the morning. Depends on if we got any Americans jumping through and so forth, okay? So we're going to continue for a long time, and I do apologize for my audience members, over 200 of you guys who are tuned in right now. You won't be able to see it, but if you do want to see it, simply message me and I will send you the link. And of course, there's only a maximum of 10 people can be involved. But we're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to have, you know, our special after show Hangouts special where we get it in. It gets heated, you know, no holds bar. I ain't even trying to monitor it too much. We're all shouting and swearing at each other. Now I'm playing. We ain't shouting and swearing. We're really getting it in, though. We're actually getting it in. And it's wonderful. So, guys, I will see you guys on the other side. I'm going to sign out right now. And I'm going to say peace and love to you all. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. And I can't wait for us to have another Hangout. I've been missing these sessions. Peace and love, family. Peace and love.